All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I'm your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of Common Sense. What is good? What is good? I'm a little excited because StreamYard just added a new thing, so maybe we can keep the birdies around for a little while. Shout out to Lost Voice in the Machine. A little empty. We just started 30 seconds ago. Give people a moment to hop in. Drop some vibe music, you know. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Is it just darkness? Of course not, brother. Of course not, man. You gotta look at the light. There's gonna be darkness everywhere, but you gotta find the light. You gotta find the light, and that is what we are doing. So it is a roll up and chill, of course. Actually, you know what? Let's do this the other way around. Usually I start rolling up and figure something to watch, but let's go the other direction. So I've been watching, I don't know if you saw the short that I posted before, but I don't know, what is it saying? Shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Welcome. So I just spent 13 hours in 40 degrees C. Let's get wasted. Let's do it. I don't know how much that is, but sounds like a lot. It's 101. 102. It is 102 right now. That's not even the real feel. That's just the actual temperature. But welcome. It is time to chill out. And keep in mind that I will be live 4th of July. After you guys are doing your barbecue stuff, come through. We're going to hang out for a little bit. Maybe watch some fireworks and hang out, celebrate America. I'm going to be an alien. Would you rather be a xenomorph or a Viltrumite? I would rather be a Viltrumite because they're fucking strong as shit. There we go. A little bit brighter for you. The Viltrumites. Bro. Invincible Season 1 finale. That shit was wild. Alright, you beat me. Dilly. So this is a roll up and chill, but I did make myself some drinks. So we'll see where the night goes. Oh, that's what I was doing. Hey, I mean, you know, for real. You watch, anybody else watch fucking Invincible? That shit is great. I mean, it's been going downhill a little bit, but it's still fire. So peep game. It's on the vertical. Boom! Now I have an actual way to talk to you guys while, if you're on the regular stream, you're not going to notice. It's not going to be any different. But if you're on the vertical stream, I can see you! And then where it doesn't block the video at all. Beautiful. And then we just come back here for when we're watching. You know? When you do, Yeah. Alright, let's see what we got. I just rechecked my my watch later list. So here's a sneak peek at some stuff that we might be watching throughout the week. But let's start with 1 atheist versus 5 Christians.
Whatever I was taught live.
Hold on. I want to start here because, as you may or may not know, I was in one of modern day debates, mini debate things like this with Andrew Wilson. And so it was Andrew Wilson versus 5. They set it up as Andrew Wilson versus 5 atheists. And then he was like, nah, I'm just going to bring a bunch of political prompts that I actually agreed with, and then it didn't. It was a whole thing. But they also did one with Rachel Wilson, and then they did one with Jake Rattlesnake. And so now they're bringing in Planet Peterson and going the other way around. Let's see what they got. Well, actually, before we do that, since this is a roll up and chill, I do have to show you guys my typical PSA. That, of course, if you're going to get a giant grinder, make sure you check the size of the teeth and the holes so that when you are grinding, that you need to grease that up a little bit. You need to grease that up a little bit. You want to make sure you get a nice fine grind. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a bunch of mini nugs instead of a nice fine grind. That. Ooh, yeah. And what are we using today? Let's use some of that. Looks good. All right, let's do it.
Whether it be God or whether it be something naturally occurring like evolution, you'd say that it's then consistent, right?
Yeah.
But then you can see things within like your paradigm regarding things like evolution where you can see extreme inconsistency in the way that things come to be.
Like what?
I mean, any creature ever. I mean, like with the way that things generate.
We're just made of atoms and molecules. The DNA evidence overwhelmingly shows, it actually proves universal relation.
I just want to test your good faith. I don't want a concession. And this is the perfect prompt for it.
Boy, shout out to modern day debate. Let's see.
Hi, my name is Eric Peterson. I go by Planet Peterson online. I am a science communicator, former science teacher, and I debate people about science and other topics.
I don't know if you guys are familiar at all with Planet Peterson. He is, his main thing is the main thing I know him from is debating flat earthers on TikTok, but he has kind of gotten more into the realm of actual debates. Because TikTok debates, I mean, they're not really real. They're not really real. There's, everybody mutes and it's, all the bullshit about that kind of stuff. And obviously this is a mini debate, but I like the way he thinks. I think he's very knowledgeable. Let's see what the prompts are.
My next prompt is that science does not point to God. What I mean by that is every confirmed discovery about nature has come from natural cause and mechanisms, not divine ones. Invoking God adds nothing scientific to the explanation. It's an extra hypothesis that explains less and doesn't predict anything.
So when you say that science doesn't point to God, are you talking about in terms of causality again, like I was talking with you earlier?
Essentially, yeah. So I believe it was Kant in a critique of pure reason.
I've read that.
He makes the claim in there that a sequence of naturally occurring events cannot possibly point to a supernatural origin. That would just be like a category error, essentially.
Yeah, but you also know that Immanuel Kant was also a consistent presupper. Even though that he was a deist, the critique of pure reason is actually extremely against what you would use to actually show that God doesn't show or isn't shown in science. Because the entire point of the critique of pure reason is to show that reason is not enough to basically show the historical narrative of the universe in the first place. That's why he grounded everything in God himself. He was one of the very first people to actually throw out the necessary preconditioned stuff. I mean, most of the people that run tag arguments, they use Immanuel Kant for that. So I don't know how you could use.
Interesting to see how we look at tag and everybody's like, yeah, well, we throw tag away because whoever uses that's silly. Depending on the sphere that you're in, very different.
Immanuel
Kant to basically show that would be the case.
Over here, love.
Well, because I'm really just talking about really just the process of like doing science and how we as beings reach conclusions for that. It's like I would ask the question then, what would scientific evidence of God creating the universe look like?
I guess I can kind of stick with Immanuel Kant then, right? The fact that there are things that are naturally occurring in the first place, and then you can see consistency or use induction, the ability to use induction in the first place would be the evidence towards that. Granted, the science by itself, right, just like the physical science by itself, may not on its own, without talking about the philosophical reasoning behind why that thing points to insert X thing here, right? But if there is the ability for us to show consistency, that would presuppose the uniformity of nature, right?
Yeah. So this makes literally no sense at all, because if nature just is, then it can't modify its own.
I was like, it's not really come together for me, but maybe I'm just stupid. Apparently not.
Underlying just is, then it can't modify its own underlying like laws that make motion and whatever happen, right? But if God exists, God could change those all the time. So the idea that the consistency of nature is what God would do, actually the opposite of that is totally what God would do. So I'm not saying that like it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That, if you're appealing to, well, nature is consistent, nature does this, nature does that. Well, that's what we would expect if there is nobody home and it's just the way that it works. If we do expect that there's somebody driving at all of this stuff, then it doesn't mean inherently that we would expect to see change or different. But not seeing it all definitely points to there not being a God.
Nature should fluctuate all the time, but absolutely God could do that. Naturalistically, this is the only kind of universe that I think you would get. Yeah. So it's not exclusionatory. I don't know if that's a word.
Exclusionary.
But I don't think in any way it points to God.
But the ability for you to even see that there is the uniformity of nature in the first place, the ability for that to even be the case, right? That would show that there is something consistent that would be then causing.
What? What about being able to see that, the sun rises every day means that there must be a God? That doesn't follow. And I understand that fits within the framework of if I believe in God, then this would happen. But that's not a proof of that.
Said consistency, right? There would be a consistent cause to the consistent effect.
Yeah, a consistent nature, and like literally everything about you is molecules in motion. So if you are part of a system that has to obey the laws of physics, then of course.
Yeah, but then the thing that caused me would then also be something consistent.
The thing that caused you would be consistent?
I'm not even saying God yet. I'm just saying in general that whatever I was caused by, whether it be God or whether it be something naturally occurring like evolution, you'd say that it's then consistent, right?
Yeah.
But then you can see things within your paradigm regarding things like evolution where you can see extreme inconsistency in the way that things come to be.
Jazz?
Like what?
I mean, any creature ever. I mean, with the way that things generate from nothing.
We're just made of atoms and molecules. The DNA evidence overwhelmingly shows, it actually proves universal relation.
Yep.
Every single life form on the planet uses the same hereditary molecule, and the degree of relationships match exactly phylogenetically, taxonomically what we came up with before we could even do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically that just means that even before we knew what we could see from the atomic level, that everything is in fact made out of the same atoms and everything, we were able to predict that that's probably what it's like based on observing everything else. In the same way you could say that, if we happened upon a car accident, and there's a car that's turning in this way, and then a car that's, we can kind of reason that somebody's probably trying to make a left turn and then it didn't work out. That may not be the case, but based on what we see there, then if we get more evidence towards that, it makes sense that is what happened.
Seconds.
Okay.
Something that we'd already talked about earlier, nothing to really get into. I just want to test your good faith, and I want a concession. And this is the perfect prompt for it. You said this prompt, creation can, so science doesn't point to God.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the Big Bang earlier.
Yep.
And you asked me, well, how is my explanation, yours, the multiverse, any different from injecting God? And I just want your concession that you are agreeing it is just as reasonable as the injection of God.
Absolutely. Maybe not exactly to the same degree, but yes, in the same way you could say, well, maybe there's a God, you could equally say maybe there's a multiverse, maybe there's string theory, maybe there's a bubble universe, all those things. Yes, all of those things are possibilities, given that we don't have a clear understanding for what started the universe. That's precisely the point. So, okay, maybe he said he just is using it as a test, but where does that go? All that does is confirm that when we as non-believers say that we don't believe that, it's not that we're pushing back. It's not that we're doing anything besides saying exactly what he just said.
The multiverse any different from injecting God? And I just want your concession that you are agreeing it is just as reasonable as the injection of God.
No, I don't think so, because multiverse.
No, you're not going to. Okay, it was a test.
Yeah,
but you already said it. You just said it earlier. How is? I mean, we can go back and clip it, but how is the multiverse any different from?
Because one has a creator and one doesn't. And so when he's saying it's just as likely, then you're making a claim that it's equally as likely, in the sense that as opposed to it is also somewhat likely that we live in a multiverse, where it is somewhat likely that we have a Christian God. All the mental gymnastics, all the semantic tricks to try to get, see, you actually do believe in the God. Why can't you just listen to what we're saying and realize, no, that's not what's going on?
My belief in God creating the universe, it is no different.
Because multiverse is a scientific idea. So in that respect, they're...
We got going dog. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir. What is going on? I'm excited. I'm waiting for some of the verties, bro. We got a StreamYard finally set up so that I can change the layout, so that when I'm here, it looks different on the vertical stream, because it's fucking dope. And nobody's there. What's good? Yeah, it's 102 here. 102. I don't even know what the real feel is like. This is Planet Peterson, similar to the Andrew Wilson versus 5. This is Planet Peterson, but he's an atheist. So it's atheist versus 5 Christians. It's pretty fucking hot. But other than that, I can't complain.
Qualitatively, like, totally.
What scientific method, or how do you use the scientific method to test the multiverse? I got it.
To answer that question, at this moment in time, we can't do that, which is why it, in your words, is just as likely, because it is unfalsifiable. We would have to get outside of our own universe in order to see whether or not there are any other universes, or at least have some type of some type of connection to that other universe. And it's somewhat implied that it being a different universe means that we don't have access to it. None of that means that science points towards God.
Should I answer that?
Please do.
So the multiverse probably isn't really testable exactly. I mean, in principle, though, well, quantum mechanics interpretations, like Copenhagen versus many worlds versus idealism, those aren't testable either. But to claim that they're not scientific is, I kind of get where you're going with that, but they came from studying the science of.
Yeah, so he's saying exactly what I just said, that they're similarly as likely because they're unfalsifiable, but that doesn't mean that science is equally in line with the theistic God versus a multiverse. Hey, shout out to Soil too. So welcome to the party. Very good to see you. So I think a multiverse is much more likely than a Christian God, but then us being video game characters controlled by advanced aliens is just as likely. Exactly. And so you are not saying that scientifically it is the units of believability for multiverse and the units for believability for the aliens is equal, but the Christian God is 7 units. You're not making that kind of statement. You're just saying, well, in general, It could be this, it could be that, it could be that, based on what we know. Exactly. Welcome. Larry said, even people who believe in God seem completely unable to even define it. I think that's a real issue between these two people, where God has basically no universal definition. And that, I gotta fucking make that into a shirt. God is very bad at being a word. Exactly. You know what is good. God is very, very, very bad at being a word. The purpose of a word is to take the thoughts and ideas in my head and transfer them over into your head. And when I say God, you don't know what I mean. When you say God, I don't know what you mean. You can talk to other people in your church, and they won't know exactly what you mean. They're going to think of what they're thinking of. They know what they think of when they say the word God. God is bad at being a word. Shout out to T-Bone. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Oh man, it's gotta be hella hot down there. God damn. We're watching the opposite of Andrew Wilson versus 5. It's Planet Peterson, the atheist, versus 5. Welcome.
Of those particular fields.
So I think there is a fundamental problem with the premise and the idea.
Fair. Liberty said, multiverse controlled by aliens still fits the definition of a god, but that is not what they mean when we're talking. That doesn't fit the definition of a Christian god. And so this is why it is very likely that I am a deist, like deist. It's likely that I am a deist because if, exactly as you say, if we did come to realize that is what the world is, then by definition, I believe in a version of a god, or is something that can be a god. But it is not conscious, and it cannot reach into the universe and change things and any of that. So it's not a theistic god. It would be a deistic god. All right, what we got here?
So I think there is a fundamental problem with the premise and the idea that science, which is a field meant to study and observe the contemporary world, doesn't prove something metaphysical and abstract.
I am not Jesus. I am the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Welcome to the party. Perfect timing for my trick. So we have the roll up and chill. And of course, if you want to grind up a bunch of goodies, you got to get a bigger grinder. But you always got to make sure that the teeth are small enough, which I didn't do. And so now, what I've got to do, you do the push and twist. The push and twist. Now, I'm grinding, but it's not falling through. So it's grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. That, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is how you can grind up a bunch of your weed without having to use a tiny little grinder. There we go. Oh, that feels good. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Sorry, Liberty. Sorry, Liberty. I so deeply apologize. T-Bone, so we gotta get those Dead Sea Scrolls out of the Bible canon. Lots of good stuff in there. Depends on what you believe. Some say there's a good reason they were not there. I don't know. Right. Let's see what this dude is saying here. Planet Peterson, atheist versus 5.
Fundamental problem with the premise and the idea that science, which is a field meant to study and observe the contemporary world, doesn't prove something metaphysical and abstract. I think that's just a fundamental problem in the way that you argue that, or argue science doesn't point to God.
Well, it sounds like you're agreeing with me, though.
Yeah, right?
Well, right. You can't use a tool that, you can't use the same methodologies you would use to study the contemporary world.
Right. So science doesn't point to God. He's trying to say like that you can't, like, God is outside of science, and so you're trying to access. Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what the claim is. Shout out to Shane Afoot. Welcome to the party. Thoughts on 70s Laos Hmong fighters? Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool, I think. I don't know. welcome to the party. A reminder, guys, if you are on the vertical stream and you would like to be on the landscape stream, the link is in the description. But I just learned how to go from here to here when I'm talking to y'all. So either way, it is good. Welcome to the party. We got Planet Peterson Atheist versus 5. And this Christian seems to be saying that he agrees with the prompt that science does not point to God.
It sounds like you're agreeing with me, though.
Well, right. You can't use a tool that, you can't use the same methodologies you would use to study the contemporary world to point to something metaphysical.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's
Right.
fine. I mean, like,
Exactly the point.
when I talk to religious folk and they just say like, well, I just have faith that God did it, I basically stop debating them because I'm like, I hope you have a happy life with,
Yeah, same here. It's like if you're just saying, well, I don't know, I just believe, that's not something I can or want to argue with. I am interested in getting to the place where I have those beliefs with you. But if you don't have any way for me to get there, then it's just the things that you think. Shout out to Nikki Dark Angel. Welcome to the party. That science does point to God. The mathematical nature of the universe is much too precise to think there's no intelligence behind its design. And lucky for you, I'll rewind this because that is exactly what the first guy said. And didn't quite go the way you think. This is exactly what this guy said.
Hi, my name is Eric Peterson. I go by Planet Peterson on.
Hey, we got Love Our Toy Pups. Welcome to the party. This is my toy pup. He's facing the other way, but this is my co-host. Look, the Overlord. Don't forget, guys, every donation comes with a treat for the Overlord. Welcome. So that's where I am. I have faith, and I'm good with that. Fair enough. And that's why you'll never see me being like, T-Bone, you tell me why you believe. I'm not about that. If you want to try to convince me, we can go down that road. If you want me to give my opinion on how legitimate I think your ideals are, we can do that too. But neither of us needs that. So let's just stick with the people who actually understand what they want as knowledge in one camp. And if you're happy with just having the faith, then good for you. But yeah, like he's saying again that like the universe is just too precise. But look what
I am a science communicator, former science teacher, and I debate people about science and other topics. My next prompt is that science does not point to God. What I mean by that is every confirmed discovery about nature has come from natural cause and mechanisms, not divine ones. Invoking God adds nothing scientific to the explanation. It's an extra hypothesis that explains less and doesn't predict anything.
So when you say that science doesn't point to God, are you talking about in terms of causality again, like I was talking with you earlier?
Essentially, yeah. So I believe it was Kant in a critique of pure reason.
I've read that.
He makes the claim in there that a sequence of naturally occurring events cannot possibly point to a supernatural origin. That would just be like a category error, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's his initial response to essentially what Nikki just said about the universe is just so particular that we can't think of that without intelligence. But here we have just the principle that you would need, if everything is naturalistic, then you would need to present the factor that is not naturalistic. Even if that makes internal sense, what is the intelligence, that you still have to prove that intelligence. But there's more.
But you also know that Immanuel Kant was also a consistent presupper. Even though that he was a deist, the critique of pure reason is actually extremely against what you would use to actually show that God doesn't show or isn't shown in science. Because the entire point of the critique of pure reason is to show that reason is not enough to basically show the historical narrative of the universe in the first place. That's why he grounded everything in God himself. He was one of the very first people to actually throw out the necessary preconditioned stuff. I mean, most of the people that run tag arguments, they use Immanuel Kant for that. So I don't know how you could use Immanuel Kant to basically show that that would be the case.
Well, because I'm really just talking about really just the process of like doing science and how.
Is that a picture of Hillary Clinton? Oh, got him.
Oh, we as beings reach conclusions for that. It's like I would ask the question then, what would scientific evidence of God creating the universe look like?
I guess I can kind of stick with Immanuel Kant then, right? The fact that there are things that are naturally occurring in the first place, and then you can see consistency or use induction, the ability to use induction in the first place would be the evidence towards that. Granted, the science by itself, right, just like the physical science by itself, may not on its own, without talking about the philosophical reasoning behind why that thing points to insert X thing here, right? But if there is the ability for us to show consistency, and that would that would presuppose the authority of nature, right?
Yeah. So this makes literally no sense at all, because if nature just is, then it can't modify its own underlying like laws that make motion and whatever happen, right? But if God exists, God could change those all the time. So the idea that the consistency of nature is what God would do, actually the opposite of that is totally what God would do.
So not only do we have what Liberty is saying, if the universe must be designed, then the person who designed must also be designed, and we have an infinite regress. But the other thing is the principle that what would we expect if nature was just nature? That it would just be. But if we had a God there, then it stands to reason that God sometimes might decide to change how nature works. And so the consistency of nature speaks to nature, not to God. Lost Voice said, the more I study science, the more I believe in God. Yeah, I mean, I have definitely seen a lot of that. Nikki said it's consistent. It's consistently across what we refer to as nature. If there was no intelligence behind the design, the chaos would insert itself into nature. But based on what, though? You're just saying that. What would make it do that? Without the intelligence, the chaos, how would the chaos be inserted? Or asserted?
So I'm not saying that like nature should fluctuate all the time, but absolutely God could do that. Naturalistically, this is the only kind of universe that I think.
So let's do that. Let's just do that. Nikki, do you think that God could change nature if God wanted to change nature? Do you think that if God wanted to change nature for whatever reason, could God do that? I think we have to come down to the answer that yes, he could do that if he wanted to. Can nature change itself if nature wanted to change nature? Nope. And so if we're using the consistency of nature in a dichotomy of either God or no God, well, there could exist consistency in nature without a God, but it could also exist without. So it gets us nowhere. Hey, we got Charismatic Bean. Welcome to the party. Did God make the AI, or did AI make God? Just asking for a fiend. Dilly, welcome. Well, this is I forget who it was, but somebody had a theory about how maybe AI and the internet and stuff like that is the next form of evolution, and humans purpose in the evolutionary chain is just to be the monkeys that were smart enough to put together the computer pieces. Then we get quantum computing, AI, all that shit, and we just become, relics of the past. Crazy shit. And yeah, that's another good point, that nature is literally a series of chaos and contraction and rejection and all of that stuff. So again, the question is, what would cause the level of chaos that would make nature impossible without a god? I don't think that is nature of the creator. That's not what I'm asking you. I didn't ask you about its nature. We said, if God wanted to change nature, could God change nature? We have to say yes, right? Because then we're not talking about the Christian God. So if God can change nature, but nature can't change nature, then we would expect that in a world without a God, or in a universe without a God, that nature wouldn't change. Maybe there is a God, and maybe God just decided, I like nature the way it is. Maybe. But we're just saying, the argument of nature being consistent does not speak to God at all.
You would get nature should fluctuate all the time, but absolutely God could do that. Naturalistically, this is the only kind of universe that I think you would get.
Yeah.
So it's not exclusionatory.
Right.
I don't know if that's a word or not, but I don't think in any way it points to God.
But the ability for you to even see that there is the uniformity of nature in the first place, the ability for that to even be the case, right? That would show that there is something consistent that would be then causing said consistency, right? There would be a consistent cause.
Whole bunch of words that don't mean anything.
To the consistent effect.
Yeah, a consistent nature, and like literally everything about you is molecules in motion. So if you are part of a system that has to obey the laws of physics, then of course.
Yeah, but then the thing that caused me would then also be something consistent.
The thing that caused you would be consistent?
I'm not even like saying God yet. I'm just saying in general that whatever I was caused by, whether it be God or whether it be something naturally occurring like evolution.
Wait,
and you'd say that it's then consistent, right?
Yeah. Again, that doesn't get you anywhere. Yes, consistent is nature is consistent because nature is what nature is. Because I don't believe this. That's how intelligent design works. It's like if you made a contained ecosystem to see how it would grow, you don't change the parameters after it starts. Oh, so you don't believe in the Christian God then? That's fine if you believe that's closer to what I would likely believe after all this work. But that's the difference between a theist. Let's do that. Let's do that. Difference between theistic God and theistic God. I was assuming that you were talking about the Christian God, which is why I was talking about changing nature. And so, yeah, I agree with you that there are ways for there to be intelligent design that is not Christianity and is not a God that can change things. That I agree with. I don't think that's what it is, but I don't have anything to see that. But it's a godlike being, and this is why God is very bad at being a word. So the souls have never known nature to be consistent in any real sense besides inconsistency at large. There are cycles in a sense, or normalcy within them, but I wouldn't use the word consistent. It really depends on the perspective that you're taking. Because, there's things like, we know the sun is going to rise. We know that if it gets this hot, then water is going to evaporate. We know that if so much water evaporates, it's going to rain. Those things are consistent in a if-then kind of way. And so maybe it's not nature is consistent in that nature does the same thing every single day, but in the same context, nature is going to consistently behave as nature does. Hey, shout out to Melted Mind Media. Welcome to the party. Rolling up and get a little drunk. Shout out to Melted Mind Media. We are gonna have a good show tomorrow. He already hooked me up with the video, and it's gonna be a good one. So make sure you tune in. And speaking of which, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes, like right now, whenever I feel like it. And you know that YouTube sucks with those notifications, so you may as well ring the bell so you never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. Welcome to the party. And again, remember, guys, if you are on the vertical stream and you don't want to, and you want to be in the landscape stream, link is right in the description. Charismatic Fiend said, I believe we are God particles from the main source having a human experience. And so, like, now I think I agree with that. But now you can see, with all of this stuff, all of this stuff, we're using God in a very, 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 very different way each time. And so it's very difficult to try to get to the bottom of any of it if we don't know, if we're changing the meaning each time. I'm not saying that's on you. That is the point. And so, you know, like, what are God particles? Let me say chemistry, man, etc. These things are surprisingly consistent, but there's also a reason to assume, there's no reason to assume it's God. Yep. Well, I made it, so we still don't have 100% knowledge of nature, meaning we don't have all the pieces to make a pattern humans can understand. Yep. And we can just say, I don't really know yet. That's totally fine if we don't know. I don't know is always an answer. All right. Okay. I think Frank Turek. I think you guys would trust Frank Turek in the difference between theism.
But if this being is a loving being, he just.
So this is the difference between a theistic God, like in Christianity, and a deistic God, where it's like, oh, I just believe that there's a source, or I believe that God is the collection of love. Or I forget, somebody who said it was God is whatever is the highest good. Like, then you're talking about more of a deistic either being or idea. Let's see.
But if this being is a loving being, he just wouldn't leave us here. He just wouldn't create the universe and then leave it. He would come and intervene in this universe and rescue us, and that's what Jesus has done.
And so already, that's why, Nikki, when you say that's not how intelligent design works or how it has to work. Oh, you're not a Christian, because that's the Christian response to saying that God wouldn't change things. It's funny how you're the only. It's funny how you're the one who's passionate about atheism, believes something supernatural, whereas I defend religion, but I'm completely agnostic. I mean, hey, I don't know what I don't know. I don't think it's there, but I don't know what I don't know. Again, Christians believe that a loving God wouldn't just set us in motion and just leave us.
And intervene in this universe and rescue us, and that's what Jesus has done.
What evidence, in addition to the coming of Jesus Christ, can we use to point to a theistic God as opposed to a deistic God?
Okay, so I can translate the G there. So he said, how can we assume that Christianity is a theistic God and not a deistic God?
Okay, deism says that God just created the universe and then left it and didn't get involved after the creation.
Boom. Thank you, Frank Turek. On point. So it's that Nikki sounds a lot more like the God that you believe in, and the type of God that I could be convinced exists, that set things in motion, and then we just keep going.
There's a couple problems with that. One is the fact that it seems that God has gotten involved since the creation of the universe, at least with the creation of life, because life appears to be the product of intelligence. Secondly, we know through the moral law that God has written morality on our hearts, that certain things are right and other things are wrong. And we know that love is good and love is right. But if this being is a loving being, he just wouldn't leave us here. He just wouldn't create the universe and then leave it. He would come and intervene in this universe and rescue us. And that's what Jesus has done. Third.
Right. And so, I mean, you get the point there. But exactly, I agree with you, Nikki, that if Christians truly believe in God's plan, then they ought not pray for intercession. If God is a designer, they should they not trust the design? Exactly. This is one of the hugest contradictions in any type of theistic religion. Exactly, you're hitting the nail on the head. If God has a plan and God plans is in motion, then how then can we have free will? If we don't have free will, then all that stuff. If there is no plan, then what is God doing? If there is a plan, then why are we praying to change stuff? It all made no fucking sense. It all made no fucking sense. Exactly, Nikki. You are on the right track. You are on the right track. Mother said, if you love something, let it free. If it loves you back, it will return to you. Will we return to God, or did we ever really love him back? Dilly fucking dilly. Did that rhyme? Oh, well, back with back, but bar still. Exactly. Never saint it. Never saint it. Shout out to Leanne Cooper. Welcome to the party. Said, love is a joke, and I heard them all. Oh, that kind of hit deep. You doing all right? You doing all right? Welcome. So the Bible is just outdated literature. Delete to that. And hey, some great literature too, right? Some great literature. But myth nonetheless. Yeah, right? Like either you have it or you don't. I mean, which is it? I just watched the many on Piers Morgan. It was wild. I saw that, but I've gotten 4 copyright notices in the last 3 days because they are going hard on all the not Crowder. I'm thinking there's something on my thing about Mehdi Hassan. What was I going to say? Was it Tucker? Yeah, Tucker. Whatever company Tucker is with, they are copyrighting everything. So, I mean, again, this was just to kind of explain the difference. Let's see what Crowder was saying about Mehdi Hassan. Birthright vigilante. 2 demtards came after me on birthright citizenship.
Crowder is the son of a French-Canadian mother and grew up in Canada.
Shout out to, who is that? We got Ted Anderson. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Again, reminder, guys, if you're on the vertical stream and you don't want to, and you want to be on the landscape stream, the link is right in the description. But either way, I was just able to switch it so that nice and big here instead of having to be over here behind the chat. Better, eh? Welcome. Yeah, I saw something about him starting a new party. Did that come to fruition, or is that a real thing, or what is that? Let's see what we got here.
So,
okay.
I was born in Detroit. Lived about 15 years of my life in Canada. I hate Canada. I've denounced my Canadian. I hate it. It's a silly place. It's not a real country. America's the greatest country in the world. Now you go. I really want you to start asking why. Any leftist arguments that you hear, prepare for the explanation. Prepare for the most likely, case that they make, or counter arguments to your position.
The Save Europe Act. Number 1, I think Europe might be gone. And number 2, how about that Save America Act? All right. America first, baby. Canada sucks. Sorry, Canadians.
You will be surprised. I would wager anywhere from 30 to 50% of the time, if you just say, why? They don't have an answer.
America.
And we'll go through that here with this segment. So right now, a lot of people are sounding off, right? The birthright citizenship ruling. We covered it yesterday. Not happy about it. And people on the left saying, no, this is actually, this is good for us. An illegal.
I'm hoping he gives a quick little recap because I kind of haven't looked into that yet.
Somali, for example, on welfare here in the United States, in Minneapolis, perhaps taking part in daycare fraud, pops out a kid.
Any other kind?
And they're actually more American than you. Did you know that? Because they're actually our greatest strength. Here, in case you want to clarify this, these are the people, and I'm using this clip because it's gone viral, also because these are children who you naturally want to be sympathetic toward. But I think that it'll turn your stomach. Here are some Somali American children letting you know how they've been raised.
Somalia is the best.
Hey, thank you. Live there. What do you want to say?
Pause. Why?
Because you need strippers.
That's it. There is no answer.
Yeah.
Somalia is the best. Why? Anyone. Hey, can anyone make the case that Somalia is the best at anything? Ever.
Now, so far, we got a 19-minute video here, and we're 20 minutes in, so I'm willing to say, all right, maybe that one was taken out of context, and there's nothing wrong, as we talk about all the time, there's nothing wrong with loving your heritage. And if you're Somali American, there's nothing wrong with wanting to, wanting the best for Somalia. But, I mean, true, but let's see. So I want to go in with the best faith possible. Maybe Crowder is just out here starting trouble. Let's see.
Point throughout human history, when has Somalia been the best at anything? Yes.
Shoplifting during COVID.
There you go. But that would be Somali American, so it wouldn't be Somali American.
You got a good point.
Yeah. Welfare fraud.
There you go. That's Somali Americans.
Americans, though,
they perfected that, man.
Just ask why. Even if someone says, I'm proud to be Somalian. Oh, why? Try it. Let's continue.
Somalia is the best. Somalia is the best thing in the world. We love Somalia. We don't care what you think about us.
Okay, go back.
There you go. Wow.
I love Somalia.
Yeah, I mean, again, with children, maybe. No. Okay. So children, maybe, this is just kind of in a little bit of a context where, like, oh, I don't care what you think about me in the sense that I'm proud to be myself. Maybe.
Somalia, anything in the world. Donald Trump does not judge us.
Oh my God.
And now we have straight up propaganda. I tried. Y'all synced it. I tried. I did my best. Yep, exactly. It's the public schools. And you don't get to, Donald Trump will not do this, that, without somebody giving you that information. Insane. If you love it so much, give him a plane to get back. Peace.
Where do you find that, Steve? Where do you find this shit?
This was going around.
I'd have a heart attack if I had to play this. How do you do it?
Through it every morning, and it's a pride.
Where though? Where do you get it?
It's a pride swallowing siege. I will never tell you about it.
All right,
but
I couldn't.
You need to condition your kids.
Can we give Frank a 1 minute timeout? Let's just do 1 minute, just because he knows he's annoying. Let's see if he little spanking works. Mods, just 1 minute. 1 minute. That's it. Go, you got me. Thank you.
That's what. If these kids are being Somalia is the best, and I see a lot of conservative Christian white suburban parents going, I just hope I hope I did my job and let them make their own decisions, let them draw their own conclusions. No, that time has passed. You need to be more proactive. You need to be sitting all of your children down going, hey, you're going to hear other kids say that X country is the best, Y country is the best. But let me tell you why, objectively, you can say that the United States is the best. You live in the best country in the world. And make sure your kids appreciate it, because you can't have every faction, every niche, every group of people, every other tribe believing that something other than the United States of America is the best, being declared just as American as you.
Oh, for what happened? What happened, Glove? Timeouts for being a little gay boy. You're a loser and I don't like you. And so I want to make fun of you and humiliate you by giving you a 1 minute timeout, because I know you'll be back. Because you're too pathetic to have any respect for yourself. Come on, Glow, where were you at on that? I'm about to start taking wrenches. What are you doing? Said it 3 times. Come on, bro. I got Nightbot for the fucking. I got Nightbot for the links and stuff. The moderation needs to be done by the moderators.
America is the best, being declared just as American as you, me, apple pie, while you sit back and go, I just hope that my kids make the right decisions. No, you need to teach them that. Let me give you another scenario while we're talking about birthright citizenship. Those people, just as American as all of us. Okay, Chinese wife of a CCP official travels to California, happens to have a kid, takes him back to Beijing. That kid and hundreds of thousands of other kids who grow into adults like them, they vote as California residents. They determine the future of your electorate. Glorified spies, to be clear.
Do you think he'll be back? Put one in the chat if you think Frank will be back, because he has nowhere else to go and nothing else to do, like a fucking loser.
And thanks to the ruling yesterday, that's what people now accept as truth. Which is also why it's pretty funny. President Trump congratulated Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
On Truth, he wrote, I would like to congratulate President Xi and the great country of China on their massive birthright citizenship win. President Donald J. Trump.
Like no other.
The left wouldn't even get that. It's so ironic.
No, they were very confused because they didn't understand this idea of birth tourism. Luckily, I will say President Xi has agreed that mail-in voting from China is unethical.
Back.
So on that, we can find some...
He's back. What a fucking loser.
Oh, that seems like a...
Oh my god. Bro, you're so gay. What? Okay, we'll do one more, and then he can stay. One more, just because it's fucking funny that he's pathetic. Like there is no way in a million years. There is no way in a million years that I would be in a chat and somebody would recognize my name and be like, oh, you're just annoying, so I'm just going to time you out for 1 minute because you're annoying. And then I would stay there. Like, what? What? That's crazy.
Switch.
Jeez, the president,
This is one of those that go, well, this is long-standing.
No.
Why? How does that make sense? How does it make sense? Especially when we know that the system is being exploited. Now, if you ask these questions, don't worry.
Oh, Nikki said, birth tourism is totally a thing. I used to work for the largest apartment rental company in Canada, and I saw a lot of pregnant foreign women have their kid, get the passport, and go back home. Yep. It's the same old show. Oh, is that why you're on the other stream? That's fine. Okay, I see. Yeah, as you can see, that there's multiple people here, and we're on 5 different platforms. Like you got them. All right, thank you. I'm not. I just. That's what. It's funny to see them be like, "Oh no, you're the loser," but I'm here watching you. I'm entertaining myself. I mean.
Especially when we know that the system is being exploited. Now, if you ask these questions, don't worry. There are Democrats out there who will scream racist. Let's look at some of these reactions. You have Delia Ramirez from Illinois saying, I am the proud daughter of Guatemalan immigrants. I am a proud anchor baby, and I am an American. Well,
America. He'll be back. He has no friends or anything to do. Yeah, I don't know. And that's the sad thing. You remember I used to actually just call him Maverick. Because it was easier, and it was the beginning, and like he was a normal person, and then just one day, he just fucking snapped. I
don't know. I'm confused because didn't you say this?
Decir unas palabras en español porque yo soy guatemalteca con mucho orgullo. Primero que soy americana.
Oh, Guatemalan before I'm an.
Wait. Hold on, we have the chat box now. What did she say? What you say?
Decir unas palabras en español porque yo soy guatemalteca con mucho orgullo.
Let's say words. Jesus.
Say this.
Now I'm going to say a few words in Spanish because I'm Guatemalan with tons of pride. Before I am an American. Haram! Haram! How dare you! How dare you! And he's still here. All right, you can ban him for good. You can ban him for good. That's crazy. Before I'm an American.
Oh, Guatemalan before I'm an American. Sorry, I think you mispronounced gone. We'll also take deported.
Afuera.
How can someone who says, I am Guatemalan, I'm first and foremost Guatemalan before American, how can they be just as American, let alone more American than you? That's what the left wants you to believe.
Yeah, we've pulled off the social pressure, right? So we were talking about this in homosexuality. It wasn't that they didn't have the rights that they needed. It wasn't that if they did it in the privacy of their own home that people would kind of pretty much leave them alone. It was when they were out in public doing this, we're like, no, that's not our culture. That's not who we are. Dancing naked in front of kids, we're not going to allow that. That's social pressure. We removed all of that from not only the homosexual LGBTQ issue, but also from this issue. Going, no, hold on. You don't wave the Guatemalan flag anymore. If Guatemala is playing like Mexico in a World Cup, fine, cheer for Guatemala. But the minute that the USA walks out,
24 hours is fine.
You're pro-America.
I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. You know what I mean? Like, then you go fucking start a channel and have losers come and say random shit while I'm trying to entertain people like you who are here in good faith. Why do you want that? You can go find shitty channels that just let it do whatever, but I hold you guys to a higher standard because I know that you are better than that. But sorry if you're not, but I thought you were.
Cup fine, cheer for Guatemala. But the minute that the USA walks out, you're pro-America. USA chants, and you're right there with us.
Yep.
That's what we used to do. We used to have that social pressure. Be a part of us. Leave the past behind you. We don't do that anymore because now it's seen as being, I guess, mean or cruel to people.
Yeah, assimilation is racist. You know?
That's absolutely right.
And by the way,
this is about Mehdi Hassan. What the fuck?
Ruling on birthright citizenship is a legal abomination. He's correct.
True.
Then Alp, Tucker Carlson's nicotine pouch company, based in India, reposted with an older post of Ben saying, "I'm sorry the Constitution is happening to you." So is Alp saying that this is
I don't know why this. What? This had nothing to do with the two things that were in the title. Oh, all right. Let's go back to the watch later list. All the goodies. Okay, yeah, it was Benny Johnson, so I'll take it with a grain of thought, a grain of salt. But Tucker Carlson launching a third party.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm nostalgic for the past. It was a better time, and by the past, I mean 18 months ago, when Tucker Carlson was wearing a giant foam MAGA hat. And
well, maybe Trump shouldn't be a fucking cuck, and then we'd still be on board. You know? It's like your actions have consequences.
Laughing hysterically, doing a thumbs up next to President Trump and Elon Musk, also wearing a giant foam MAGA hat and a Doge Father shirt.
And they're all bad, and Trump is good.
Trump seemingly having a great time. The two of them prancing around the Oval Office. Look at that hat.
How do you not take that? Let's see if the comments actually are smart enough to put that together. It's like, bro, it's not that. The Qatari party is entering the competition. Don't we already have a pro-Muslim party? Don't be fooled. Third party's only just split the conservative ticket. He's trying to split the conservative vote and getting paid to do it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Look at that vibe. Just for the aesthetic alone, this was a happier and more joyful.
I just want to know if it's like legitimate.
Things have descended swiftly, and many people believe that Tucker Carlson is going to run for president. Now he says that he's not going to run for president. But something big.
Remember, and the new word that I figured out, we can use Frogert. Fucking Frogert. Fitbit just didn't hit hard enough. The Saget doesn't. This F sound doesn't work. It didn't work enough. Fitbit, you fucking. Frogert, you fucking Frogert. I tried that, but it doesn't. It doesn't roll up in the because it needs to be fucking. It needs to be like ba. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel as good unless you do it like that. So Frogert, what a fucking Frogert. Oh, that fucking Frogert.
Just happened. You can see here the chances of Tucker Carlson running. There's J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and Tucker Carlson at 7% just 1 week ago. Tucker Carlson coming in at number 3 in the likelihood of being the Republican nominee. The chances of Tucker Carlson running have crashed simply because he says he doesn't want to run, but now we know that he wants to do something perhaps much bigger than running for president. That Tucker Carlson is going to build a third party.
Let's go.
Journalism review, long-form interview with Tucker Carlson. All I have is the power to talk and be heard. Tucker Carlson on pitting
And so if you understand what I just was talking about earlier today, and what I was discussing, I think, did I put it in the last Substack, or it might be in the one coming out on, there you go. It might be in the one coming out this week, but either way, I think whether it's this new party or whether it's just going to be a moderate Republican, there is the possibility where the far left takes over the Democratic Party, and they're too far left for normie people. And then Trump, there's a Trumpian candidate that's super neocon, warhawk, swampy, whatever, that all the America First people aren't going to vote for. And so even though those are two different groups, you have normie Democrats and moderate centrist conservatives. That could be the biggest block. And if this Tucker thing is real, it could have some legs. It could have some legs. You really don't know. You really don't know. Guys, don't forget about Morty here, giving you guys that extra opportunity. We are this close to only 100 points for the week. It's already Thursday, guys. I mean, if we want that movie night, we should probably go into a Friday with at least 100 points.
Donald Trump never listening to podcasts and playing a new political party while selling nicotine pouches. So the Columbia Journalism Review does a very, very long take with Tucker Carlson, asking him a lot of questions. So let's go ahead and pop on over to the question about a third party. I'm going to build a third party, says Tucker Carlson. And there should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits to the country. I mean, if you're making $60,000 a year, you're degraded. Your life expectancy has gone down. And the promise of your children's lives is likely gone. No one seems to care. It's not even a factor. What about Hamas? I officially don't care about Hamas. The U.S. government should have as its first priority the welfare of its own people. So Tucker Carlson explaining here that he will build a third party. Let's go ahead and look at the context of this commentary and what is going on with the questioning that leads to Tucker Carlson announcing this third party creation. Are you interested in aligning yourself with another anti-war voice? I don't know if it really matters in war and finance. Where does the money come from? Where does it go? Who gets killed? And on those questions, the parties are in lockstep solidarity with each other. It's not a democracy. It's a one-party state posing as a democracy. It needs to be broken, and there needs to be a third party. There's going to be a third party, and all I'm going to do everything I can to bring that about, says Tucker Carlson. And that's the lesson of the last 2.5 months. To me, if you vote Trump, you still wind up with a regime change war. If Chuck Schumer is strongly behind Trump's foreign policy, which he is, then we need options. Or else, let's just give up and be ruled by the most unscrupulous people. And I'm just too young to accept that. We need a third party, he says. And when you say you'll do everything you can, I'm going to help build a third party. Okay. Well, there you go.
Hey, shout out to James Dylan. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. God, get this fired up. Wow. You good, bro? You having a stroke over there? What is going on?
Would you be a candidate for this third party? I don't want to be a candidate, says Tucker. Before I did the Times interview, somebody said to me, they're going to ask you if you're running for president. And I was very tempted to say, I am running on a pro-patriarchy ticket, just to make sure I gain no new fans. Okay.
But here's the problem.
So here we go.
Right.
What's the point of talking about this, they say? It's the only power I have.
Dropping shit all over here. There's plenty of. It's not just the Libertarian Party. There's many parties. There's the Green Party. There's plenty of parties. But when we say a third party, we mean a third party that could potentially win. The Libertarian Party is a joke. The Libertarian Party exists to satisfy people who are so far outside of the Overton window that they don't understand that your ideals are different than what you can expect in reality. Like, you can have people like Liberty Plus TV here, who is a libertarian. I find myself to be mostly libertarian minded, but the fact of the matter is that doesn't do anything. They can't in the same way that we see that the Democratic Socialist Party can't get off the ground because they try to have meetings and point of privilege. Wokeness overtook the Libertarian Party as well. And so the idea is that, yeah, exactly. The idea is not to try to go into a losing party that's been losing for the last 80 years and try it a little bit different. It's to bring something brand new. And somebody like a Tucker Carlson, who's not the candidate, who has the star power to make the moves, I mean, that seems to be the most reasonable thing based on the last 15 years of politics. That seems like the most reasonable and practical thing in the world. Everybody hates the establishment, but we've all understood that there's just it's a fucking big mountain to climb, and so that's why people have been trying to go, like RFK. Well, not RFK, but Spencer Pratt going as a Republican, Trump going as a Republican, I'm forgetting a name, but somebody who was like more of a socialist going in the Democratic Party, because the system is already set up. So saying, oh, they already have a bunch of losing third parties, and yes, other parties exist. That's not really relevant to what we're talking about. Yeah, right? Point number. Have you guys seen that? Please tell me you've seen that. Put a one if you have not seen the socialist meeting where they can't get anything done. Shout out to Exit Driller. Welcome to the party. Somebody needs to check on James, y'all. Somebody needs to check on James. McCarthy? Which one? But I mean, I think more succinctly, Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, all Republican Party. They're the best libertarians that we have. But you can't do anything from the Libertarian Party. And so if this is a new party, that allows a situation where there's not all the baggage of Gary, what's-his-face, forgetting, well, what is Aleppo? And Jill Stein and all that shit. Politics is about optics and all that stuff. So a new party, a new thing, a new platform, all of that is so much different than just, well, I'm going to go with the Libertarian Party. Do you see the difference? It is a massive difference. Almost everybody at the top and right-wing media are all former libertarians. Clearly they were pushed out, I think, on purpose. We used to run this internet shit. I don't know what happened, man, but that's what I'm telling you, that if you are anti-war and at this point not, if you don't like the MAGA title, maybe you still are like, okay, I'm not MAGA, but, it's kind of, then this new party could be the coalition that we have the commies on the left, we have the fucking Trumpian losers, warhawks, swamp monsters on the right, and then this new party is all of the fucking normal people. Tell me why that's impossible.
Okay.
And of course, fucking Benny Schmuckface here is gonna laugh at it all the way. Oh, yeah, doing things in politics. You're just supposed to, sit at your desk and pick teams. Fucking loser.
So here we go. What's the point of talking about this? They say it's the only power I have. I don't have any tricky plan to win readers over to my campaign for some office. I don't have any institutional power. I don't control a military. So all I have is power to talk and be heard. And though it's borne no fruits so far, I remain fully hopeful. So there you go. That's the full context of Tucker Carlson announcing that he will be building a third party, but he has no interest in running for president.
Well, exactly. So I think I'm not too familiar with who Hop is, but I think you're saying, what I'm saying, is that the polarization of the two sides has gone so much that the fringes are fringes. Or rather, the fringes are fringy. There's not a lot of people into it. Whether it's the commie shit or the Super MAGA war, whatever. There's not a lot of people into that shit. There's way more people on either side of the aisle, but closer to each other. Like, literally just look at my hands. If we say, you gotta be on vertical. It doesn't really fucking work if you're on the vertical. You gotta be on landscape for this. But if literally this is the spread of the Democrat Party and this is the spread of the Republican Party, and then this is the spread of that new party. Guess which one is bigger? This is bigger than this or this. This is bigger than this or this. It's not complicated. It used to be that, you know, it was like that. And so there wasn't really that much room in between. If you're a centrist, right or left, you're kind of, you know, whatever. But now the parties have shifted so far that all of this space in the middle can be occupied. And it's not going to be occupied by a party that's lost forever because they suck at everything. Whether that's the Green Party or the Libertarian Party or some party that I'm not fucking remembering, or the Socialist Party, the Democratic Socialists of America, anybody else. I'm not saying it will be the Tucker Party, but I'm saying if it is going to be anybody, this seems like our best shot at this point in time. I just don't like the Epstein files and the Iran war. That's what is separating me from MAGA. Same shit. And there's so many of us. There's so many of us, Exadriller. There's so many of us that we actually may be a bigger coalition than either party. Nonviolence is not more than murdering a baby. It's not a religion. It's an evolving legal framework. Exactly. They elect leaders or they elect themselves, asking for a fee. Yeah, right. There's plenty. All right, let's dive back in and see what he's. We got Cat Turd
of that party.
Oh,
some are saying online.
Butt hurt. So you can tell. You can tell if they didn't think that this was gonna hold any water, they would basically ignore it and just, you know, it would be a throwaway thing. But they're getting butthurt. They're getting butthurt. Nigga said, if the premise of human rights is that all humans have rights, then the right to life must be the most important right, as all other rights are meaningless without life. Dilly. Fucking dilly. Dilly fucking dilly.
Doomer Grifter Retard Party. This is the best way to help Democrats win. I completely agree with that.
There's no way. There's no way that anybody who was MAGA before the election and now is no longer MAGA is ever voting for the Democrats. Unless you're a groiper and you're following Nick Fuentes, to think that a third party is going to make former MAGA people throw their lot in with the fucking commie Democrats is straight up cope. Look at what they're saying. Look at what they're saying. And he skips on that real quick. This is the best way to help the Democrats win. The Democrats are not winning anything. Daddy is not coming on anything. This is the most hopeful thing I've seen in a while. In a while. The fact that they're all this butthurt about it means that they're scared that Daddy Trump doesn't have the grip on us that he used to. And you said the anarcho-capitalist legal theory, you could murder someone who's about to do an abortion. Just saying. I think that works under Christianity too. I don't know, but yeah.
This is the best way to help Democrats win. I completely agree with that. The mask has fully dropped, so it is being absorbed, of course, by the MAGA base as, well, what it is. And it could serve as a massive spoiler for Republicans or J.D. Vance, which I think is quite interesting.
We don't fucking want that. We don't fucking want that. And so now, this is another important part about how we talk about, left, right, Republican, Democrat, conservative, all that stuff. It is a very crucial time to be deliberate about when you say conservative and when you say Republican. But right before the election, didn't really matter. It was basically the same shit. Now, it is not. I have more conservative values and I'm more libertarian minded. I am not, nor have I ever been a Republican. I've voted Republican one time. That was for Donald Trump, and I don't regret that vote, but I'm not very happy with him right now. There are so many people in that position. Well, I mean, if you are a Republican, if you follow the values of the GOP, if you like all the fucking war, if you like, all the collapsing of power, if you like that, then that's for you. But that's just the name of the party at this moment, not what Tucker Party was standing. That can defeat the even worse one. So I voted for them. Very important. Notice who is trying to use the semantic obfuscation of calling you a Republican because you are conservative. Couldn't tell you. Money, slow down the Democrats, but make sure they still get done what they want to get done. Go to war, steal money from poor people. I don't know what you want from me. I voted in two. I am 36, but I wasn't really paying attention to politics when I was younger. Then when Donald Trump came down the stairs, I was like, well, shit, maybe I should start paying attention. So I started watching the mainstream media news thinking that was a good idea. And so naturally, I became a Bernie bro. But then, and of course, the DNC fucked over Bernie. And my ignorant ass didn't understand what was what. And I did really believe that if Donald Trump won, that it would be the end of the world. So yes, my first vote ever was for Hillary Clinton. But because of that, I was like, okay, well, clearly I don't know as much as I think I know, so maybe I'm not ready to be voting yet. So even though I had been red-pilled by 2020, I consciously didn't cast a vote because I was like, I don't trust myself. So then when, things continued and I was like, okay, yeah, Trump is the right option. Like I said, I in no way regret my vote. But that doesn't mean that I'm automatically happy with Trump. So, two votes. Well, I mean, I voted in general, two general elections. I voted in the locals. But yeah, exactly. And so that's who these people are carrying water for. Yep. We'll drop a link in the Discord, and I don't know how to get there. Have you ever shared that with me? Because I voted for the NDP guy in my local area because he actually engaged with voters. I voted for the PC federally and the independent from there. There you go. That's the way to do it. Yeah, I just reposted a poll that I put on my community tab. I had a theory that everybody was like, why do millennials look so young? It's because, boomers and Gen X, you guys grew up, and as you got to be my age, you started looking, middle-aged. No shade, just you were looking your age. But you guys smoke cigarettes at a significantly higher level than millennials. Millennials are the generation that got rid of cigarettes. Gen Alpha is bringing it back because they want to be rebellious against the vaping. So, I mean, we definitely have vaping. But the difference in what this does versus a cigarette, that was my theory. I didn't say anything, and boom, 60% of you still smoke, and another 18% of you used to smoke. Speaking to Gen Xers. So, boomers and Gen Xers, you guys are growing and aging at a certain rate. Now, you have Gen Z that is obsessed with looks maxing, and they're doing all this stuff to them, this unnatural shit, fillers and Botox and chemicals and stuff. So they're aging faster. This is what 36 is supposed to look like. Y'all fucked it up, and now millennials are the best. Yet again, best generation in the world. That's a communist? Oh my god. What is NDP? What is NDP? Yep. NDP in Canada literally wear Mal pins? Oh my god. Well, but again, the more local, the more reasonable it can be for somebody to be extreme, because it's just one person. When you're at the national level, then like a socialist, that's going to represent so many people. But if you live in a small town, and the guy happens to be a socialist, but doesn't necessarily. I mean, I probably wouldn't vote for him, but doesn't mean doesn't really mean much of anything. All right, let's see what these MAGA beta bitches are crying about the Tucker party.
Tucker Carlson really likes JD Vance and has said very polite things about JD Vance.
Yeah, as a person, he likes him as a person. He's not a bad guy. But if he's just going to do everything that Trump is going to do, then he's not a good politician, at least not to represent me and not to represent Tucker Carlson.
Parties fared in U.S. presidential elections over the last 100 years. Not well. They've rarely achieved any significant success. They almost never win electoral votes or come close to the presidency due to the winner-take-all electoral college, ballot access barriers, lack of funding, media exposure.
Okay, so listen for the part when Benny talks about his principles. Listen for the part when Benny talks about what's good for America. Listen for the part when Benny talks about the people who are disenfranchised by the either side of the aisle, and not a left-right woke way, but the reasons that you decide to vote one party over the other. Wait for him to notice that, or to list that.
An entrenched two-party system. Of course, I don't think Tucker Carlson will have a problem with media exposure, but let's go ahead and look. Third parties poll in the single digits, but this is uncommon. Most elections see them at 1 or 2% combined. Extremely rare that they win.
Right. So that is why we wouldn't go to the Libertarian Party or the Green Party or the Socialist Party to try to get whatever it is that Tucker's trying to do. Hey, we got Wicked Dream in the building. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you guys. Still not a single treat for morning. I guess you're giving me the Sunday off. I guess we're not watching a movie. Close. I don't think enough people would be into it, but a book club would be kind of cool. I wouldn't be into it. I'm not fucking reading all that shit. But if one of you started a book club, I might follow along. But I'm not starting a book club. So the national provincial government basically made it so younger, so you get no funding. What's up, Wicked? We're watching Benny Johnson cope over the fact that Tucker Carlson starting a new party might be legit. Because he's a MAGA.
Any electoral votes. George Wallace was the last one in 1968. They can act as spoilers, though, drawing votes disproportionately from one major party, and I'll leave you with what you think that party would be. Of course, be MAGA and disaffected Republicans and so on.
Sure. There's no question that if this Tucker party was to pull votes, it would pull more votes from the Republicans than the Conservatives. But we are, I'll at least speak for myself. I am somebody who doesn't like the direction that Trump is going. And so whoever Trump not advocates, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Whoever he backs, then I'm probably not going to like that unless I hear very explicit promises that I have reason to believe that are going to be different. And so what happened here? I forgot what I was just saying.
What you think that party would be, of course, be MAGA. Yeah. Disaffected.
So it would obviously pull more votes from the Republicans, but there's no. I don't see a reality where a lot of voters are going to see that. Okay, the Tucker party is doing not so well and merely pulling votes away from the Republicans. So let's say that we have Tucker's candidate. Let's just say it's J.D. Vance running Republican, and we have fucking Hillary Clinton again, just for the sake of argument. If it's close between J.D. Vance and Hillary, and Hillary's up here, and J.D. Vance is down here, and the Tucker party is down here, we're all going to throw our lot in with J.D. Vance. We're not going to let a Democrat win. But it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot. Let's not forget that Trump in and of himself was exactly that type of thing. He was the outsider. He was the person that was supposed to pull votes from the Republicans and push people over to that. He was that. Yep. I don't endorse. Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, exactly. Tucker Carlson is a liar and a fake. He will switch his positions to please the majority. Oh, unlike Trump, right? Let's not forget, guys. We are talking about politics. Nobody that we talk about politics is not a liar. Nobody in politics is not a fake. Nobody in politics is unwilling to change their position. That is not that doesn't get us off the ground. That's what politics is. So you've got to give me something more than they lie, because they all do that. True. So my dad went to school with them. Doug, who is them? The Ford family? Oh, I don't know who they are. Never heard of them. All right. What is he?
Republicans and so on, force major parties to shift positions, but they don't win. Performance is generally weakened in the 1990s peak, with a combined third-party votes often 3 to 5% in most cycles. So you have seen a third party. Ross Perot kind of famously ran a third party and got nearly 20% of the vote. He got 20 million votes. He got 0 electoral college votes, but it was the strongest modern showing, and he's the reason why we got Bill Clinton. Do you understand? He's the reason why why the Clintons exist at all. Hillary Clinton, suiciding Jeffrey Epstein, all that, all the suicides, like all of it happened because of a third party. Now, this is terrible.
And I mean, you get the point. Wait. Did you about to say this is terrible? Hold on.
All the suicides, like all of it happened because of a third party. Now, this is perilous times.
Oh, perilous.
And so a third party running to break formation and support away from JD Vance, which is presumably the front runner and is, of course, the high front runner here. JD Vance now in the 41% likelihood.
So notice there's zero interest. There's zero interest in why some people are looking at another party. There's no interest in why people don't care about pulling from the Republican Party. Because the Republican Party sucks. It was cool for a little bit, and the Democrats got so gay that it's still cooler than the Democrats. But like, I don't know. The best analogy that I can think of is like if we're trying to talk about who's our favorite high school teacher. Like whoever, like even the cool teachers will still, give you detention. They might let you check your phone. I mean, now they're all over the phones, but like they might let you check your phone here and there, but you can't be blasting music. There's, basic things that a teacher is going to do on the basis that they're a teacher. So you can't be like, oh, this teacher is really cool, but he gives a bunch of homework. Yeah, he's a cool teacher, but he wants us to take notes and gives us tests. Yeah, he's a good politician, but he lies. He's fake. Yeah, that's what they do. Right. And exactly, Wicked. So I think a lot of people, that's the fear from the current MAGA base. And I don't think that I think that people are smart. The people who are willing to vote for a third party in this particular election season are smart enough to understand that we're taking a shot. Okay, let's see if the Tucker party can beat the Democrats. If not, okay, then we'll go back to the Republicans. But as I said on the night that I realized that Hillary Clinton was a horrible person, which is like 1 or 2 days after I voted for the time. But my women should get rid of them all and start new. Well, and that's kind of what is happening in a certain aspect. That we have the Republican, we have the Democrat, we have all the other third parties, but we're starting new. Something in this new party, just because it's a new party doesn't mean it can't have heavy overlap with the Republican Party, the good parts of the Republican Party. It's just not going to be held down by the fucking Lindsey Grahams of the world. And if people aren't woke about it, if people aren't partisan about it, if people aren't tribal about it, it's like, no, I want to win because I'm winning. And people vote in, well, I think this is what is best for America. I think this is what is best for me. and my fellow Americans, then I don't see any reason why not having fealty to the Republican Party should even be a negative thing. We're talking about the fucking government. We're not talking about your girlfriend. We're talking about the fucking federal government. So no, I have absolutely no loyalty to a fucking federal employee. What the fuck are we talking about? And yes, there's no way that I will do anything that I think would let the Democrats win. At that point, then it becomes MAGA's fault for wanting to vote MAGA just because it's MAGA instead of voting for the good the good candidate that will beat the Democrats. I can make that argument too. He's old enough to remember when Clinton was in the White House. They are terrible human beings. I am old enough to remember when he was in the White House. There are about 5 families that actually control everything. So Democrat, well, exactly. To a certain level, it doesn't matter, but in other ways, it absolutely does. Do you think that life would be exactly the same if Kamala Harris was president? Probably not, right? And so, even though it's still the same stuff, there is a difference. There is a reason to vote this party.
Most of them will not even attempt to assimilate, which is why large portions of California now resemble Mexico, why 30% of New Yorkers can't speak English.
Daily Wire.
All right, let's move on.
Star Matt Wall.
Let's move on a little bit. It is Trump's fault. It's 1,000% Trump's fault. It's 1,000% Trump's fault. You're saying Dave was saying? I mean, yeah. I mean, I follow Dave very closely. That's not what I asked you, Wicked. That's not what I asked you. You said there are about 5 families that control everything, so Democrat or Republican does not matter. So my question to you is, do you think things would be exactly the same if Kamala was the president? Okay, same question to you. I want you to put it in writing that you think America would be in exactly the same place if the Democrat had won. Exactly. So in all the ways that we would be worse, even though all of this is true, there's certain things that it doesn't apply to. And those things, if those are the only things we can control, well, we may as well control them. So, this is, Brad Aidspace. I forget who that was. We called him Aidspace. I forget. But, calling out Matt Walsh for something? I don't know. We will see. I think it would be, well, it would be similar, but that's why I said the same. Hey, shout out to the Confluence HR Big Soda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gives them a chance. This time will be different. No. We're talking about how Benny Johnson was just crying over the fact that Tucker Carlson might start a new party, and definitely would be more gay. Yeah, I mean, think about that. Think about just Pride Month. There's so many videos of, like, brand logo in June in 2022 versus 2026. None of them changed. Oh, yeah, but so a lot of the Republicans, a lot of the MAGA dick suckers are mad at the notion. I don't even know, I didn't look into it. I don't know how serious it is. I was already talking about how the polarization of either side makes it such that it is reasonable to see that a more moderate candidate can pull, moderate left and moderate right for a bigger coalition than the fringe right or the fringe left. And then we see, yeah, exactly. Then we see that there is potentially a new party, and the MAGA dick suckers are scared. They're scared. They're scared of us, guys. They are shrinking. We are growing. Keep that in mind. Let's see what Brad's got.
Walsh is losing his mind over a Supreme Court ruling. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to check in with the conservative commentator and Daily Wire host, Matt Walsh, who you probably know I'm not a fan of. I've critiqued a lot of his ideas and beliefs and takes. I find him to be very hyperbolic, very radical on some things, and then a bit absurd at times. And this is really a good example. So you've probably heard by now the Supreme Court handed down a controversial but expected ruling maintaining the long understood interpretation of the 14th Amendment's birthright citizenship clause, where they say that anybody who's born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction of our laws is a citizen at birth. It's an unusual immigration policy. Most countries don't have it. Several others do, but the U.S. has had it for a very long time, and we will continue to have it after Trump tried to challenge it and change the interpretation. And if people are really against it...
Wait, I get what you're saying, but I just need to put it out there that we know that the party switch thing is a Democrat talking point, and that didn't actually happen, right? It's the same Democrats that have been racist the entire time. Now their racism is, oh, poor Blackie, you can't do this, that, or the other. Back then, it was the KKK, and then before that, it was slavery. There was no switch. But, that being said, if there was a Democrat who, represented my values, as long as they didn't represent all the other shit that I hate as well, then I'm voting for who's best for me. Who's best for America.
Have it after Trump tried to challenge it and change the interpretation. And if people are really against it, there's plenty that they can still change at the policy level to prevent birth tourism and other problems, and they can, of course, push a constitutional amendment. But the court simply affirmed the long-standing interpretation of it. And it's a substantive debate to be had. Clarence Thomas makes a very serious, reasonable dissent and different perspective, but the sky is not, in fact, falling yet by them simply maintaining the status quo we've had since the 19th century, yet Matt Walsh is suggesting otherwise. Listen to him crashing out and spreading blatant misinformation and baseless panic on...
Come on, guys. Nobody got 99 cents for the puppy. He hasn't had anything since we've started. We've been going almost 2 hours, and he is hungry.
On his Daily Wire show. Let's watch.
Today's ruling will directly lead to tens of millions more foreigners flooding into this country, most of whom will have multiple children who will be entitled to a slice of your paycheck. Most of them will not even attempt to assimilate, which is why large portions of California now resemble Mexico, why 30% of New Yorkers can't speak English, why Somalis run entire neighborhoods in Minneapolis. None of this is lawful.
Well, I actually will take the word of the Supreme Court on what's lawful over Matt Walsh. I don't actually think he knows very much about any of these cases or the nuances or complexities of them, but it is insane to suggest that this ruling will allow or will prompt tens of millions of people to enter the country, to flood into the country.
Why? What? Wait, what? Why? If the ruling is that you can do birth tourism, why would it not lead to more birth tourism? Well, nope, they've gone back around. They were out there, but now they mask up and, with Antifa. Same people.
What? The ruling changes nothing. The status quo is preserved that we've had for a very long time.
Right, but the status quo has been, birthright citizenship, we don't really know, so you could do this, and maybe that, and maybe so, and maybe whatever. And so, putting it into law that, yeah, definitely you're allowed to do birth tourism. Thinking that that's not going to lead to more birth tourism is crazy. Yeah, right? I mean... doesn't get more racist than that. I don't know. Let's see if Brad can turn it around.
Citizenship. And there's nothing stopping the Trump administration from continuing its strong border security policies, and there's nothing stopping Congress from harshly curtailing immigration amounts if they choose to do so via legislation. All that's at stake is whether or not the children of immigrants, including illegal immigrants, will be citizens at birth or not, which okay, you could debate that. It certainly there's some issues with birth tourism as well, and people just coming here to try to get citizenship for their child and all of that, but there are solutions still to address that. This makes no sense. They are suggesting some sort of doomsday narrative about literally nothing changing, as if that's not alarmist, and as if that's not fear-mongering and stirring up people's emotions for no reason. It's really a reckless and irresponsible.
Weak take. If you think that a Supreme Court ruling a Supreme Court ruling is going to have effect. Flat out. Hey, shout out to a Wicked Dream with the $5. Thank you so much. 2 treats? Why don't I give him 2 treats? I'll give him 2 treats. Only because he's starving. Not 2 treats, 2 super chats. What the fuck is this shit? See, he doesn't. He's not even coming over because he's like, nah, that ain't for me. Bam, 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 bam. Hey, come here! Yay! He's got to stretch first. Come here. All right. There you go. All right. There you go. I'm so fucking soft with you guys. I don't fucking understand why I let you guys get away with so much shit. I answer every fucking chat. All I ask is 99 cents for a dono. Give a deal! Jesus Christ. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. And finally getting over 100 points on the goddamn weekly go. Thank you so very, very much. Morty, your face is right in the fucking spot. I cannot see the screen when your face is there. How many fucking CKKIDDREAM? Jeez Louise. Thank you. So very, very much, I'm gonna be demanding shit from me ever again. Poor Brad, he's so gay and weak. He's like a logical woman. A what? A logical woman, what? I don't understand. Must be confusing? For Brad? Or for Morty? Nick said, if entering the country to have a child is a crime, then no child born within 8 months of entry should be a citizen, and both mother and child should be deported. Agreed. Congrats to Xi Jinping to his victory on the Supreme Court ruling, right? Yep. There you go. Yep. Logical woman like a flying pig. Gang. Thank you. Let's keep the party raging. I only got one more joint left, so you guys, you know what to do. You know what to do.
Way to use your platform, but he was crashing out about this in just the most extreme and hyperbolic tone, particularly on social media and on X. We're going to look at a couple of his posts, and he eventually just went full sexist, misogynist, ignoramus. And I don't say that lightly. I don't throw around those accusations just, over any sort of disagreement of opinion, but there's no other explanation for some of the things that he's saying that we'll get to. But first, let's start here. He wrote on Twitter, "The actual birthright belongs to my children and the children of all real Americans. I would love to know who constitutes a real American and who doesn't, and what the specific threshold for that is." Anyway, he continues, "They have a birthright to live in a country that resembles the one our ancestors established." I'm not sure that's actually a thing, that anyone is entitled to live in a country that is the same as it was at its founding. Our country is, in many ways, unrecognizable from our country at its founding, while some of the genius, insights, and wisdom that were instilled by our founding fathers into our system of government remain. Our country itself is in so many ways unrecognizable.
So I think I see where this is going. I have a shortcut. Let's see what you guys think of this. This and that. Let me zoom this in. Oh, wow. All right. What do you think about this? In case you can't read it, it says, America cannot stand unless it is a majority white country. Agree or disagree? What do you guys think? I'm holding this here. I'm holding you guys to opinions. What do you guys think of this? Somebody better give an opinion. We don't sit here and then go to bed. Okay, Joe said I agree, and I am Indian. I said I'm Indian too. Why do you agree? Bingo. I am extremely surprised by this. We just had the proof that the culture that is so important is American culture, and explicitly not white culture. It's a little weird and disappointing that over 15 people, despite the fact that I've just given you official proof, uncontrovertible proof, that what makes this country great is American culture and nothing to do with whiteness, by all of the white Europeans, that the whiteness that you appeal to, that's them. They came here and were like, oh, your country is better. No? What do you mean? There you go. And so that's the point. And so it doesn't, if America isn't going to fall, if we had all people that look like me, that were devout Christians, that love the Constitution, why would it fall? Well, what is white culture? What is white culture? I think white culture is just redneck stereotypes. There's nothing in white culture that's not a redneck stereotype. Anything is anything that white people do is not a white thing. It's going to be a heritage thing. So it might be European, it might be Russian, it might be whatever. What is white culture? Oh, so Indians aren't on time? What is it? I'll take that as, oh, you're right, Lutch. I was really stupid for thinking that, and very obviously I was wrong. I think we'll give Brad a break here. He's not coming with the strongest.
Once you see this, you will not be able to unsee it. This interview exposed the Democratic Socialists of America.
You know, there's been a lot of attention. One of the candidates you supported who won, who knocked off an incumbent Democrat, is Darlisa Villa-Chalier. She said some very controversial things, including calling for the abolition of prisons. Couldn't say what.
Well, okay, so we got an answer here. But what things are the Western culture? Which behaviors? Which rituals? Which values? That's what I'm asking about. What are those things? And my point is that all of the things that is Western culture is not necessarily white. Everything that is great about America is not necessarily white. We just happen to be a majority white country. Nothing about whiteness is what makes America great, and everything that makes the West great has nothing to do with whiteness. This is shooting yourself in the foot and putting yourself 10 steps behind with a patriotic Democrat who may I remind you, you need Democrats in order to win elections. At the very least, you need to convince people who are not active voting Republicans. And to them, what they see as white supremacy, that ain't going to help. Look at Dream said, I think they mean American culture when they say that, but I could be wrong. It comes down to having the same values no matter the color. Well, that's why I capitalized the word white. That's why I capitalized the word white. Nikki said there is no white culture. Bam, 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 bam. Exactly. White people aren't a monolith. They are hundreds of distinct cultural groups. Yep. Yeah, so what is that, though? What is Western culture? Billy. But I do actually agree with you that Western culture is what's great about this country. Again, that does not have anything to do with whiteness. Because my belief is color means nothing, either a decent human or not. Indeed. White culture, Western philosophy, modern medicine, individual liberty. There's so much white culture. But that's not white, though. The Western philosophy is going to be Greek. Modern medicine also going to be heavily Greek, and then specifically, like modern medicine, that's going to be American, and India is a leader there as well. Individual liberty. Also, there's plenty of countries that are not majority white that have individual liberty. It's just not there. The only connection is there happens to be more of them. That is it. And the more you guys hang on to whiteness and white culture, and what you are shooting yourselves in the foot in the same way you are doing with your religion. A color, a shade of skin. That's it. I don't know anything about you from knowing you're white except the shade of your skin. I don't know if you're a good person. I don't know if you're a bad person. I don't know if you're a Christian. I don't know if you're an atheist. I don't know if you're a Jew. I don't know if you have a lot of money. I don't know if you have a little money. I don't know if you're down to diddle kids or you're with me and think that's the worst thing ever. Tell me the thing that you guys know, whoever is holding on to this whiteness and white culture, what is the thing that if I tell you this guy is white, what is it that you know about him based on the fact that he's white? I'll save you some time. It's nothing. Extra said, I think we need more Western culture implemented, but I mix that up with white culture. Hey, we don't need to self-flagellate here. But the point is, yeah, you are now. You're right. You're wrong before, and now you're right by changing your mind. How can you say Western culture doesn't have anything to do with? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm saying the whiteness doesn't have anything to do with Western culture. It's not because they were white. It's because they're from the West and using the culture of their nations, or Christian culture, or Jewish culture. It's not about being white. So what? So then fill it in. I've been asking you for 5 minutes. What is white culture? What is it? You're fighting so hard for it, but you can't even say one thing. Say one thing that is whites across the world, and not a country or a nation or a heritage that happens to be white. Okay. All right. You're not ready to listen. That's fine. That's fine. Extra Driller, glad to have you on board. Maybe Liberty, you'll figure it out one day.
Whether or not somebody who had committed murder should be in prison, called for open borders against all deportations, including those of violent criminals.
So murderers shouldn't be in prison.
Right. Exactly. But Liberty says that's not the case. It's not about Irish, Scottish, English, Italian, and then I'm adding in religion and I'm adding in religion, Christian values. What is that thing? It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. You're just talking about a correlation of Western culture because Western culture is mostly white people. If it was mostly brown people, it wouldn't be brown culture. Because then there's a bunch of other things that fall under that are white, and then there's a bunch of brown people that are shitting in the streets. It's not white culture. It's a Western culture, American culture, Christian culture, even if you want to say European culture. It's nothing is white about it except the numbers. That's it. Dilly fucking dilly. Nikki gets it. All right, let's move on to what we all can. Well, I mean, yeah, because you don't have to be white to be fully immersed in Western culture. You must be white to be ethnically English. But you can be culturally British in any skin tone. Exactly. Well, let's move to where we can all make fun of the socialist commies. I'm going to run this back, see what he said here.
Opposed the Democratic Socialists of America.
You know, there's been a lot of attention. One of the candidates you supported, who won, who knocked off an incumbent Democrat, is Darlisa Vila Chalier. She said some very controversial things, including calling for the abolition of prisons, couldn't say whether or not somebody who had committed murder should be in prison, called for open borders against all deportations, including those of violent criminals.
So murderers shouldn't be in prison, no borders at all. What could go wrong? You can't make it up. Surely that's not actually what these guys are calling for. Let's see how he responds.
Are those positions that the Democratic Party could win?
Okay, agreed. White people did invent Western culture. Alan Turing invented the what? I forget what it was, the computer language, and he was gay. So does that mean that anybody who uses a computer is gay? Or is computer culture different than Alan Turing's sex life? Same thing.
On nationally.
I think he responds.
Are those positions that the Democratic Party could win on nationally?
I think what the Democratic Party can win on nationally is a focus on working people.
Well, we're focusing on working people. That's all he says here.
She would talk about how we have to invest in babies, not bombs.
You know, invest in babies, not bombs. What does that mean? Everyone
well, it sounds nice.
Claims that their policies will benefit working people. That's not an argument. And this is the illusion.
But how does abolishing prisons or having open borders fit into that? I mean, do you see how those are ideas that a lot of your Democrats that are warning about what happened here say are toxic?
Even the guy interviewing him, a mainstream journalist, even he is shocked by what he's hearing. Surely you don't believe this stuff.
Most of America won't go along with it. They're bad ideas. They're dangerous ideas.
I think what the focus of her race was, what the focus of her candidacy was about the struggle that working people are facing.
And he just says working people again. That's all he can say.
So we can disagree on something as basic as whether or not there should be prisons?
That's
not your position.
There are prisons,
yes.
And what we're also showing in this city is that safety is not something that's up for debate. It's something that we're actually delivering on.
In order to avoid contending with it, he claims it's not up for debate. We're just going to deliver on it. What are you delivering? Please just explain it simply to me. What is democratic socialism?
And for a lot of people who ask themselves, what does democratic socialism mean? And you can tell them the answer at a theoretical level. It's the choice to extend democracy from the ballot box the rest of their lives. But
what does that mean?
It's just a thing to say.
Extending democracy from the ballot box to the rest of my life.
It's just slogan after slogan after slogan. And unfortunately, there's a significant number of people who are buying into it, not disconnected from people like Hassan Piker and his orbiters, which is why I focus on them as much as I do. Because they are out here influencing people to buy into this shit.
Doesn't mean anything.
You got to have something you are not just willing to stand up for, but that you're also willing to explain how this is relevant to working people.
Good. Tell me. Explain it to me, please.
I'm not interested in writing a manifesto or frankly in reading one. I'm interested in delivering. And that's exactly what we've been showing.
But what are you delivering though? Please, no, just write it out. What makes you a socialist specifically? Because I don't understand how we can have both.
But they're saying that if you're a socialist, you're not a Democrat. I mean, is there room in the party for both of these views?
Yes.
You can't just say yes. I mean, you got to expand on it a little bit.
Yes. So, does it have to stand firmly for these ideas that you're talking about that others are calling dangerous?
I think it has to stand for working people.
We got the working people part. I got that. That's the third time you've mentioned it. Try someone else. Maybe we can get a better answer.
Because another co-founder, you guys.
All right. So real quick, it seems like where are we? Hold on. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, so it seems like Speakeasy's live right now, and where the fuck is the goddamn thing? He's got, I don't know who this middle guy is, but he's got Powder Dusty and Grid One Motorsports saying, I'm a liar, come prove it. Oh, and they're fighting! Alright, let's see what's good. We'll finish up the socialist. And then hopefully you guys keep the party raging, because I gotta get back to Silo, so you know how to do it.
Gustavo Gordillo said that you guys are you admitted that you're using the infrastructure the party has set up for ballot access, and that's what you're doing. Is that fair? to say that that's what you're doing? You're not actually Democrats. You're using the process that's already in place to gain power.
Well, we would ask everybody, including voters of the Democratic Party, of what are Democrats?
All right. Sounds like postmodernism.
DSA is also on the record talking about the need to defund the police and freedom for all incarcerated people. Do you believe in anybody being incarcerated for any kind of crime?
Amazing. Like, I can say what I feel personally. I think there for sure is violent crime or things that are really atrocious things that happen that, I mean, for sure in the near term or foreseeable future, I think there is a need to keep that in check. I think there's a lot of lower level crime.
Without incarceration, how do you keep murderers from murdering people?
He's going to point to, well, there's a lot of lower level crime. Sometimes there's too much enforcement on lower level crime. And that's all he says. He just leaves it there. Lower level crime.
I think that there is so much low level crime that our current system just goes after people for things like jumping a turnstile in a subway station or somebody having a mental health episode.
Okay, but
and why do we do that? Why do we do that, Mr. Socialist? Does it have anything to do with, well, the people who are doing violent crime and bigger crimes are also likely to be the people who are jumping the turnstile. So if you arrest the people who jump the turnstile, then you don't have to arrest somebody for murder. What do you guys say over here? Democratic socialism is the first precursor to communism. Yep. You said men created the internet because it was mostly men. Did some women contribute? Yes, but it's the culture of men. This is, bro. This is so far outside the scope of what we're talking about. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I made my point. You can agree or disagree. We would have had it back and forth. It's getting silly now.
But do you think that murderers should be...
Internet is men culture. Come on, bro. What? The internet is man culture?
Put in prison? Do you think that murderers should be put in prison, incarcerated, or no?
I'm okay with that. I think that things that are...
I'm okay with that, right? Just listen to how this dude struggles to answer basic common sense questions.
Now, this woman is smarter than the previous guy. She's not going to let this go.
For low-level crime that should not have police responding by shooting a teenager who jumps a turnstile or who is having a mental health episode and is shot by police.
The third time he's done it, pointing to low-level crime again. But what about people that are murdering people? What about serious crimes?
Crime has actually gone down in the past few months as Zoran Mamdani has been mayor and is starting to enact the policies that he campaigned on.
Well, so when you don't arrest anybody and you don't put those crime stats in, of course, it looks like crime went down. I want to get to this with you before we go.
She's just looking at him like, you are so full of crap.
Well, I would focus on the demands that...
Like, yeah, if you make everything legal, then crimes are no longer a problem. Crimes are no longer a problem.
He campaigned on, which were universal childcare, freezing the rent, and fast and free buses. Just in the past 48 hours, freezing the rent. The freezing the rent just happened. That's one of the top three demands just happened. The buses, that requires state funding, that requires city funding. So that's not a one and done. He doesn't have the legislature to do that right away, but we're organizing.
Yes, I would love free childcare. I would love free transportation. Okay, but how are you going to do that? There's never any mention of that.
This new candidate for New York 13, Ms. Chevalier, she was part of a group on campus, a divestment group. And that group believes in, quote, nothing short of the total collapse of the structure of the American empire itself. Our goal is to eradicate Western civilization, to undermine and eradicate America.
The eradication of Western civilization. What could go wrong?
We act in full support of the Palestinian resistance and believe in unrest and violence in America. Are those ideas that the DSA also endorses?
No, I don't think I would endorse that language. I think we are about expanding democracy in every part of our lives.
It's about expanding democracy from the ballot box to the rest of your life. It's literally like they have practiced these talking points because he's echoing what we saw with Zoran.
And you can tell them the answer at a theoretical level. It's the choice to extend democracy from the ballot box to the rest of their lives.
Just they pass out these flyers and they all memorize these robotic sentences in order to evade any real response.
And I'm proud to be the mayor of a city that currently has the lowest recorded number of murders and shootings in recorded history.
Well, when you don't arrest anybody and you don't put those crime stats in, of course, it looks like crime went down. I want to get to this with you.
And she knows that. So now she gets specific about the unintended consequences that come with all of this.
But in terms of the specifics of the freezing the rent, what about the fact that when we've seen this happen before, first, the taxpayers, the billionaires, the companies that pay for these taxpayer-funded services are leaving New York in droves. And when you freeze the rent, landlords no longer have money to improve the facilities that they own, and therefore things fall apart. And then also people aren't going to invest in new housing, so it squeezes the supply and ultimately actually increases housing costs. So how is that good for the working class?
It's not.
His only response is, it's already screwed up, so don't worry about any of that.
I think if you just said what you did to most renters in a city like New York or Washington, D.C., they would say already our buildings are in disrepair. Already our landlords are not.
Because there's lots of...
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. Because all of the policies that he's making worse, the rent freezing, all that shit, that's what led to the problems in the first place. How do these people get to the point where they think the exact opposite right thing? The exact opposite.
Accountable to the
already.
No, I mean the cost of living, the cost of rent is going up in major cities all over the country because there's been so much deregulation. There's been totally unchecked, unlicensed in some places. Development
there's been deregulation in New York?
Are able to do.
Wow.
There's been no deregulation.
I think that's been the pattern. There's been it's gotten more and more deregulated. More and more, the cost of rent has not been kept level. It's going up. In recent years, something like a third of all apartments in Manhattan were unoccupied, just owned by people who might be foreign investors, Russian or.
Well, there's a lot of investors who are middle
oligarchs,
class, like in the Bronx and the Queens, who own a second property that they rent out, and they're middle class, and now they're unable to make repairs or increase the price on their.
No, all landlords are bad. Let the streets run with their landlords. If you know, you know.
Their business as a result of the rent freezing, so that certainly affects working class people. I want to get to this.
I think that's also a question of wages. Like the cost of wages should be going up for everybody when there's inflation happening across the board.
Yeah, but you know why we have inflation? We have inflation because the government has spent too much money and devalued the dollar.
And she's just kind of speaking to me like a small.
I think I gotta. Oh fuck! All right, I gotta hit up horseradish because there's no. He's not doing the DMZ this week, but he told me that my minimum wage prompt is in the prompt list. So like I'm not looking to debate anything else, but if he'll set me up for a debate on the minimum wage is harmful to poor people, I will absolutely take that on. I mean, it's directly from Dave Smith's mouth. I don't know if he's parroting it, but I'm definitely parroting him. If this is the minimum wage, then that means you have to be at least this good to ride the ride. Anybody down here, you don't get to work because your value is not high enough unless we print it and we go through inflation. I gotta do that. You say you want about the weirdos in the LP, but they would have never let this happen in New York City. True. No one does damage like a fucking commie.
Oh, child.
That's why people can't afford anything. It's not that things are expensive, it's that our dollar is worth less because the federal government keeps printing money for things like you believe in, which are not free. It costs in inflation and it costs taxpayers. But I want to get to this.
I would again push back on that part because what happened during the pandemic, for example, was the government did print, I think, trillions of dollars of money, but it was mostly given in handouts
there
to
was
corporations.
a worldwide pandemic, and also that caused a lot of inflation. So even if you want to say like that is a cause of inflation, yes, of course. But the fucking world was shut down by the type of people like you wanted. We didn't want all that money. We wanted to just keep the world moving. So even there, you fucked. All right, so here's what are we gonna do. I kind of want to check out what's going on with Speakeasy. And I don't know where Confluence is, but I might pop in and say hi there. But since Wicked's the only dono, I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing, and then we'll go to bed. But don't forget that you can always keep the party raging. All right, so I want to go back over here and see what this is all about.
Don't be a fiend. Keep it.
Today, all right. Well, I've seen a few things yesterday, and
speed her up.
Listen, these people over here have so much to say about me. They have like these claims they make, but never ever show any proof of any of the claims. And I'm giving them a chance to come here, have a spot that they can all come up on. It could be all of them here.
All right, let's see what the drama is.
I'm a big time liar. What else is it? What is it? I'm a big time liar, scammer. I'm
on Easy on Easy's platform all the time. I don't really do VK, but I do. I'll do Swords of Reason.
But
All right, let's see.
I'm gonna show you something here. Let's start here. Let me bring something up. We're gonna get right into it today, guys. We're gonna get right.
Let's do it, baby.
Right.
Can you hear this? I feel like this is quiet.
So I was sent this link to this Fruitcakes Live over here, and
You mean this Fitbit?
So,
Or no?
Mrs. Gwen Lawrence over here. All right. Let's start right here.
Yep. And because it doesn't have the pressure anymore.
Somewhere around.
Yeah, there's no pressure to the brain anymore. It's disturbing to say this, but I honestly don't care who.
Charlie.
All I really care about is what we do from here on forward. That's it. Don't care.
What do we do moving forward? What are we going to do protecting?
So it looks like this is Grid One Motorsports, and this is the other guy that was on the thumbnail, who I'm not sure who it is. Let's see.
Don't care.
Well, I mean, what do we do moving forward? What are we going to do protecting yourself from
10 or 15 minutes on Flow State yesterday. I made some stuff.
Right here. So
plan for
I just wanted to make sure you guys. They're talking about like Charlie Kirk's assassination and shit like this, and this guy just can't help bringing me up because I live rent free in this idiot's brain. By the way, too, none of these idiots are blocked in the chat. Not all three of these idiots here are not blocked in the chat. So then, if they go around crying about how they couldn't even talk in the chat, yes, they can. They're just bitches.
attack, but we shouldn't allow.
And if they are still blocked, I'd like someone to send me a screenshot so we can go find them, Tom.
And I mean, I have no problems with anybody in this space. Like we saw the drama with the Panelverse and Rob Noor and Andrew Wilson, and Easy does seem to be in drama a lot. But I do think that has to do with having a panel show. You're going to have a lot of people, and so like he's going to be more likely to have beef with somebody than someone like myself who just kind of does my thing. But I don't have any beef with them, and I haven't been on Grid One Motorsports channel in a while, but I don't have anything against him. But clearly there's beef, so let's see what's good.
Blocked, but they're not. They're not. Actually, only one of them is actually blocked in.
Acts to go unpunished, for certain. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Must be all that gear. I have to speed this up. I'm sorry. These two talk on fucking.
I might have to speed it.
Is there anything you want to talk about your debate show coming up?
There's. Do you want to talk about your debate show coming up? No, I'd rather talk about Easy.
A lot of excitement. I spent probably like 10 or 15 minutes on Flow State yesterday. I made some statements, and I'll stand by them. I don't take anything back. But somebody did like 7 fucking hours or something like that. At least 3. I don't know how many fucking hours were on last night. Whining like a little bitch.
The show wasn't all about you, bro. What are you talking about? You were like a segment of the show. So there's a lie. Lie number one. Lie number one from the guys who say I'm a liar. That whole show is not about you, so you just lied, all right? I started that show talking about fucking Oscar Quentin. So what are you talking about?
I've been asked. Actually, I have a question for everybody.
Okay.
I've been asked by multiple people, not just one, several, to consider
These guys are so
mending
boring.
fences with that fuckhead Easy.
So he keeps doing this. He goes on all these panels. Hey, I've been asked to consider mending fences with Easy. First off, I don't know who's asking you. Ain't nobody over here asking you shit, bro.
And here's the other thing. Like, if we are in if you're on this channel, you might be seeing me with panels and something might eventually happen. You will never see me going to you guys first or going on a panel to discuss issues. Can you guys hear the squeaker? That's Morty. Like he's just, I've got a problem with this person, just out as if it's not public to the internet. It makes it hard to be like, I'm not really part of this, because now it's like, hey, that's kind of out of pocket. Why are you doing that? Talk to whoever you're talking. Wait, have that conversation off stream.
All right, I'd ask you to mend no fences with you. You're an asshole. All right, until you go and apologize for talking shit about me, making up lies about me, bringing my kids up into fucking internet drama. Until you can go apologize for all that shit, don't even fucking think about mending fences, bro.
And like, so as someone on the outside, it's like, you didn't do anything like that to me, but there's a certain threshold of things that if you do that makes you feel like, okay, well, if I if I collaborate with you and then something goes wrong, are you going to try to dox me? Are you going to try to do this? Are you going to try to do that? And so, shady.
I'll go take a piss on your grave when you're gone. That's how much I don't give a fuck about you. All right? Fuck you. All right? That's how I feel. So get this out your head, bro. Stop looking to other people for approval. Be a fucking man. You want to mend fences? have the public apology. How you just lied about me the other day saying I went to Andrew, and then you doubled down on it here. You're an idiot. All right? You want to keep fucking lying? Fuck you, bro. Until you apologize for your lies, don't come over here and talk about nothing to me, bro.
This is not something I want to do, to be honest. Honestly, you can't dare me to fight you and then whine when I tell you I'm going to beat your ass.
No one dared you to fight me, dude. There's no dare to fight me. I said if you said that...
Bro, you can't see him because he's not on camera. But the dude's like 50, mid-50s maybe? I don't know. Here's what I'm going to do. I got to pee. Morty might have to poop. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to jump in. Actually, let me do this and hop in here. Go mobile. We'll go mobile, baby. Play this while we're doing this.
Shit that you were saying to me on the panel to my face, I would slap you. That's what I said. I didn't say don't come somewhere else I'm gonna beat you up, bro. Shut the fuck up, you loser. We ain't the same. Nothing we did was the same here. I said if you disrespected me, bring him my...
All right, hold on. Hold on 1 second.
My kids up to my face, I would slap you. That's what I said.
I'm sorry. That's not how the life works. But, you know, in the interest of being an adult for a few minutes at least, I'm considering it. I would love to hear some opinions.
See, he's considering it, but he needs someone else's opinion on if he's going to consider it or not. This is a full female guy. This guy's a whole female.
On whether I should be the bigger man. I'm already a pretty big man. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm fucking huge. I'm like a tank. And should I be the bigger man?
That's not gay at all, to talk to your boys about how you're hung. Yeah, not gay at all.
And say, you know, bygones, bygones. You go your way, I go mine. Keep my name out of your mouth, you fucking bitch.
Weird, because that's what I tried to do. This whole thing started because I told him in private that I don't want to be his friend because I can't trust him. I tried to keep this shit in private, and he wants to be a little bitch, right?
Take some feedback on that.
You want my opinion?
I want everybody's opinion.
So here's my thing. If this was a one-off, maybe. If this has been a habitual behavior of somebody, why would I think the bigger man is the one taking a punch in the face and then walking away?
Couldn't nobody tell me I was muted, you fuckers?
Of interaction. And say, okay.
So what I did with both of you, when you both started hanging around people that talk shit about me and bring my kids into fucking internet drama, when you started hanging out with them and I said, I can't trust you guys if these are the people you hang out with, that was the bigger man thing? Me setting boundaries? Got you.
Okay, you came at me. You said this. I'm now calling you to the table. Boom. Now you're going to take...
I don't know why this guy's talking to anything, bro. I told this guy I would fight him and someone else in the same day, and he said, no, because it'd be a fight to the death, bro. Shut up.
Is hurting, is beaten, and then you're going to walk and live to see another day. Because here's the thing. If you
Apparently not.
Boundaries.
That's solid. That's solid.
You're not going to walk to see another day? That doesn't even make sense. You can see days without walking. Plenty of people don't walk and see lots of days. What are you talking about? You're not going to walk to see another day. You're an idiot. This like half-ass trying to make death threats. You don't sound tough.
Guy.
You sound like an idiot.
So,
a bigger man is the person that's going to enforce his boundaries and not let other people walk.
This is what steroids does to your brain, kids. Don't do steroids, okay? This is what it does to your brains. All right, big muscles, tiny brain.
And I gave you the pass. You know that?
Yes.
So
gave me a pass for what? This guy gave me a pass. Oh, so sorry, Stanley. Nice. Bro. I didn't realize I was checking in with the Crips over here. Thanks for the pass, bro. What are you talking about? You gave me a pass. Gave me a pass of what, bro? You don't fucking run nothing over here, dummy.
So generous.
So, me telling you, like, hey, sometimes you're gonna have to put on those boundaries. Or what's the point?
I can't pause it, but
okay, let's be cool. If I well, then that person that talks shit about you needs to make a public statement.
Hey, what is good?
10 pounds comes in from Shazzy. Says instead of Gwen is better. Yeah, I agree. And Separate Turtle Chaos comes in for $2. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys big time for that.
They were lying and they were talking
shit. It's fucking
burning. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing that we got to discuss.
Dude, what am I lying and talking shit about? This is my point. See, I want you guys to listen to this right here. Where am I lying and talking shit? This is your opportunity. All three of you can come up here at the same time. It can be one-on-one, whatever you want. But you won't because you know you're fucking lying right here. You know you're lying. What did I lie and talk shit about? Go ahead. I'll wait.
enforcement on those boundaries? Or what's the point of even saying you have a boundary? If somebody's allowed to talk shit about you, and okay, let's be cool, bygones be bygones. Well, then that person that talks shit about you needs to make a public statement saying that they were lying and they were talking shit. To me, if you're not willing to do that, then there's...
Where did I lie and talk shit? I will literally right now, hand to God, I will right now say sorry for lying and talking shit. If you can come show me where I'm lying and talking shit. Hand to God. I'll get on my fucking knees and say it. How about that?
Nothing to talk about. There's nothing that we got to discuss until you're willing to until the other person is willing to rectify the situation by acknowledging that they were lying or that they were doing something nefarious or that they were wrong.
All right, I'm gonna pop out. I'll be right back upstairs.
Here's your chance tonight. Just show me you're in the chat so I can drop the link right now. All right. If not, I'm gonna finish this little part here. Here's your chance right now, Gwen. Get on up here and show everybody. All right, and you know what? I won't disrespect you guys. I won't call you no names. I know that's why you guys are all bitches and you don't want to come to my panel because I say shit to your face and make you feel like you want to go jump off a cliff. I get it. So I'll make sure I'll be respectful. I just want you to come up and say one fucking thing of where I lied to you, about you, I was nefarious to you. Show any of this, please and thank you.
Until they're willing to do that, there's nothing we need to talk about. There's nothing to be a bigger man about. The only thing is that hey, when I see you, I see you.
Yeah.
And whatever happens after that.
When I see you, I see you. That's not bigger man shit. That's little boy high school shit. When I see you, I see you. What the fuck is that, dude? You're not gonna do nothing. You won't do shit. Matter of fact, I know for a fact, not one of yous will come nowhere near this nose. Okay, you understand?
What?
Not one of yous.
Yeah.
You'll see me, you'll look at me, and you'll maybe.
So we'll see. I just want to, this is the build up. We'll see, and then obviously we're behind, so we'll jump ahead a little bit. Again, guys, don't forget about Morty. Don't forget about movie night. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
That's what you'll do. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Stop with this tough guy shit. It ain't fucking for you.
That is on you.
Bring up a couple of really key points there, Glenn. The first is the trust is broken. The lies, the fabrications, the misrepresentations.
He's the one that's lying about me. He's the one misrepresenting me. How is this guy so fucking there's no self-awareness here? How can this actually be real?
Those cannot be ignored. It's not hard to overlook them. It's actually fucking impossible to overlook them.
What are they? What are they? What is it? Listen, this link is only for the haters right now, all right? I'm dropping the link. It's only for the haters right now. One of them. Let's go.
The fabrications, the misrepresentations, those cannot be ignored. It's not hard to overlook them. It's actually fucking impossible to overlook them.
Of course. You drop the link and they never come up. This is what on TikTok, I'll literally say, drop your Cash App. I will give you I will send you $100 to even attempt to refute my point. And they never do. Wicked Dream said, I thought of something that was white culture, talking back to your parents. Okay, I'll give you that. Fair enough. Dilly. White culture is talking back to your parents. So we want to build a nation based on talking back to your parents? Yeah, we want to talk back to the parents, and the parents can't hit you. Okay, if that's the culture that you want. But from what I've seen, that leads to YNs. So I was wrong. White culture exists, but I was completely correct that it is not what we want to base our nation off of. Thank you.
Yeah, I think what Dusky says here. He says, well, first of all, he goes, great, where I can buy your tickets to your event.
They're free. There's an Eventbrite link. We'll get that. It's being distributed now. If you don't have it, we'll get that out there real soon. So.
And two, he says, Greg, you could forgive, but reconciliation requires another issue. Reconciliation requires respect to allow relationship again.
What do you mean? I have to give you the respect before I...
I don't even make sense. But we are, it's 91 degrees. I don't know where the humidity thing is on just like the regular, what is this, Google? Yeah, the regular Google or Samsung thing. But 91 feels like 98 at 9:23 p.m. No spanking. No spanking. leads to why it is. Now, I'm not necessarily in favor of hitting your kids, but the what you were talking about is more so the gentle. I was thinking of the gentle parenting aspect. And so if we're talking about, hey, you're in our culture, this is white culture, so kids talk back to their parents. This is white culture. We don't spank our kids. You might get YWs, YCs, young crackers. There's nothing wrong. Okay, but I know you didn't specifically say you want that thing. But if we are saying America is great because of the whiteness and white culture, and you're saying that's what white culture is, then the logical conclusion is that you're saying our country is built on the notion of kids talking back to their parents and not getting spanked for it. Of course, that's not what you think. So the only logical conclusion then is, oh, I don't actually think that America is great because of white culture. Oh, yeah. They say if your child's old enough to understand the reason they're getting hit, then just reason with them. And if they're not, then they're not going to learn anything. So there's definitely exceptions to the rule, but I think in the overwhelming majority of cases, violence against your children is not necessary. It might work to an extent, but it also might fuck them up. That's dope. I thought about getting one of those for a while. One doesn't need it now. He's too old for it, but that's dope. That's dope. He said, I'm Irish and British, or in Irish British and culture. My parents and grandparents, they definitely hit kids, and we sure as fuck didn't talk back. There you go. So, well, no, I mean, you got it. Yeah, the spank that doesn't fit into the I'm talking about. That doesn't fit into any nation. That doesn't fit into any religious ideology. That is a white American thing. Fair enough. So white culture does exist. But what did I say from the very beginning? That no white culture exists besides redneck-esque stereotypes. All right, let's see where this is going. If we're going to have any fun here. Compliments just started his stream, so we can hang out.
Get it? What fucking lefty, liberal, fucking feminism type bullshit are you smoking over there, my guy? Well, he needs to give you respect after you lied about him. Now it's free? Now it's free, guys. Hey. He was charging $10 to get in. Now it's free, bro. Now that he showed you he fucking lied about the main event, he lied about the whole fucking thing.
All right, doesn't seem like anybody's...
I hate on earbuds.
And
yes.
Again, I don't think Easy is giving anybody any reason to respect him.
Yeah, I think
I haven't given anybody any reason to respect me. Hey,
I fucking respect the shit out of him for the platform that he's built. Like, it's not easy to no pun intended. It's not easy to build a platform like that where you have things working properly. He's got the system. VK works a certain way. Swords of Reason works a certain way. The branding of what it looks like, all of that, his thumbnail, that is respectful. That is definitely respectful. Italian culture exists, Irish culture exists, white culture, not so much. Yeah, but well, let's close the bridge there, because I think that we can agree that talking back to your parents and gentle parenting is more of a white American thing than anything else. But I don't think that we want to say that that is what we're... Obviously, we don't want to say that's what we're appealing to when we want a Western culture. We can still understand that there are habits of white people that are not necessarily habits of English people or habits of Christian people. Is there a difference between habits and a culture? Let's see. All right, I just want to see if this goes anywhere for a little while longer, and then we'll hop over to the panel.
Marte with the $5 super chat. What a couple of heretics. Yeah, 100% hits on his stream. Checking in for the haters. We're gonna have an open panel after. Lies that I apparently told. balls for them, though. All right, because we know they ain't got any. This is me calling them, all of them, and I know I'm a liar. I'm a scammer. Such a scammer. Like I don't know. I have all the proof.
Those are a lot of valid points. Although Ghost, Micro Machines may have had tanks, but there's nothing micro about me, bro. Unfortunately.
It's so lame doing this. There's nothing micro about me thing.
Yeah. But I mean, again, to give credit to Wicked Dreams, I don't think there's a lot of black Gen X parents doing gentle parenting. Well, so I wonder, is spanking? Yes. Oh. Oh. I don't think it matters where. I definitely know that, like, at least Chinese, Japanese, that is very much, respect your elders. Pop, 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 pop. Yes, I got beat. Yeah. It's the worst thing Gen X and older millennials have done. Nope, nope. I am not owning that. There are no millennial parents who had kids before participation trophies and gentle parenting was already a thing. Nope, that's Gen X. That's Gen X and boomers. I'm not owning that shit. I will own a lot. But millennials can be fucking hell. Millennials have done a lot of shit. But gentle parenting, we're the victims of that one. Every culture that wears sandals has none of that. Beat your ass with the sandal. Exactly. And being Chinese in the West Indies. Yikes.
It's so macro about me thing.
They do the biceps. I'll be rad. I'm just be honest. I'm gonna be rad as fuck.
Well, like that's, I agree with Mr. saying. Like to me, like I don't speak on idiots, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, I got you.
Like
I don't speak on idiots. That's why you're speaking on me, because you don't speak on idiots. Only smart guys like me. I get it.
I hate Indian food. It's fucking disgusting. Indian food is disgusting. All right, so it doesn't really. This looks like. I mean, I'm here. I'll drop the link for you guys if you want to see this on your own time. I am curious about the drama, but I'm gonna want to speed through it at like 2x and all that stuff. So we'll hop on the panel and hang out. We could drink some Italian. I got hit with a wooden spoon, and I got ordered upgrades to the metal slotted spoon. The better aerodynamics. Oh my lord! Oh my lord! I mean, maybe, but like, what's good Indian food? Does it smell like that? Then it's nasty. All right, where we at?
Channel, so that's his main, but I think he streams from his main. I think.
You know, Hassan
wrong.
did say that Asmongold makes a lot more money than he does. So,
well, yeah, I mean, he's a bigger, more successful, more like.
All right, we are headed over to Red Cooper versus the Drag Queens. Oh Jesus! Let's turn the music. I mean, they did for a while, but then all of us kids didn't like it, so they stopped making it. Yeah, no supposed to. Oh, I love Chinese food. Hell yeah, but that shit's ass. All right, let me get rid of that. Got this. Nope, that. Think there's still Geo.
Either.
Oh my gosh, I've been shadow banned. We Jumax too close to the sun. It's IJ, I think. I'm pretty sure IJ gave me one of these. Yeah, it is IJ. Good to see you, IJ. Good to see you, Big Soda. How's it going, everyone?
Does Indian Jesus know about the drama? Can he fill us in? Because there's like this panel verse shit going on, and I'm out of it.
There's, I mean, basically it's just Sarah suing the Wilsons and Rob Noor. I don't fully know what she's suing for. I think it has to do with like lost wages or something like that, because they used to do all that stuff together. But I'm not too sure.
Wait, who's suing? This is a different drama. Who's suing who?
Oh, so Sarah, the Raging Tomato, she's suing the Wilsons, and she's suing Rob Noor. What
I heard about that.
How are you?
Is it more people than that? Like, because I heard it was 6 people in total.
It could be. I don't know.
Okay.
But then I just came from I was just doing a roll up and chill and drink. Dilly to you guys. Long time no see.
Dilly. See, I think controversial opinion, IJ. I think Andrew Wilson did defame Sarah the Raging Tomato. I think he did defame her. Okay, I don't know if he legally defamed her, but what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, there's a difference between being defamed in the general sense and the legal term of defamation. So you're saying?
I think it possibly. I know that's I don't want to Mont Bailey, but I think it's possible it could reach the bar of legal defamation in the sense that I think Andrew Wilson did mislead his audience, and he knowingly misled his audience. And so when he posted that she's doing pornography now, and then he censors the photos of her, but he's really just censoring cleavage. Like me, when I'm watching this, when I saw Andrew post this, I thought, oh, I just assumed, yeah, she's naked under these censors. Like she is actually doing like some type of like softcore porn. And then when I looked it up, I was like, I don't believe this. When I looked it up, then I'm like, oh no, it's just cleavage. And I'm like, well, that's kind of deceiving. If I didn't look this up, I would just assume that she's like naked under a giant censor bar over her chest. But she's not. It's just cleavage.
Do you remember specifically what he said about it?
I just know he said that she was doing pornography. I know because I heard him say that on his channel. So he might have said a lot of different things, but I know he said that she was doing pornography.
But she's not.
Well, I know she's not. That's why I think it's possibly defamatory.
Okay, and so okay, with all that in place, then the question becomes: what is the level of the level of justification that Andrew would have to say something like that, knowing that it's not true? And so I think this context, both because it's all online and because it's all YouTube stuff, both parties would be treated as public figures, making it significantly harder for Sarah to have a case that, like, you know, people, because like right now you could just say Brett Cooper, you make an AI image of this without her shirt on and put her thing over it and say, oh, Brett Cooper's doing that stuff. She can't sue you over that. That's
I don't know. I mean, look at the are you familiar with the iDubbbz and H3 thing?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and so why did iDubbbz fold to that? I think he knew that there was a good chance he could have caught a defamation. He could have lost that lawsuit. Now maybe he just didn't want to pay the money and go through it, but he gave some groveling apology because he did defame H3.
You could probably get retaliation too, depending on the circumstance of if there was a contractual agreement, and then like the moment the contract falls through, you have Andrew saying this, and so it could be because it could be viewed as retaliation, and it could done harm to her image, and so you could have a case around that.
I don't know. I think
it's tough. It's going to be tough to prove.
Yeah, I think given the fact that there was bullshit mutual, there was mutual bullshit, that it's not like someone like she just attacked or he just attacked for no reason, then thank you. Then I think it makes it a little bit more messy and just more of like because you have to again prove the damages, because defamation has to have damages. So
it's easy to prove. That's the easiest part to prove, I think. No,
I disagree. Because if we're saying that in order to prove damages, she would have to prove that I would have gotten this much money had Andrew not done that, and also that Andrew was not justified in doing that. Meaning, if she...
You don't need to prove... The justification doesn't need to be proven. If you say something that you know is false, and you say that, and it causes real harm that you could prove with money, then...
That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to prove harm. What is
the hard part? It's proving that he known what he was saying is a lie.
No, I would say that's the easy part, because they're both easy parts, I guess. I mean, in the same way that you would prove any defamation case, which is that, like in this case, the fact that he's putting out images of Sarah with cleavage and he's adding censor bars, that means that he knows what those images are. That means he's putting up a bar and he's telling people it's pornography, and most people interpret pornography as some type of at least softcore, which is nudity. No one calls pornography just wearing like slightly revealing clothing or cleavage or anything. No one would call it that. So I think you know that he was at least presenting something that's not true. You know he's seen the photos, or at least his team has seen the photos because someone's adding the censor bar and he posted the photos of Sarah. You have him on video saying that she's turned to pornography. I know defamation is hard to prove, but I feel like this is an example where it's like the only thing maybe is like, is her sub count, like she lost like 25% of her subs or whatever, but that kind of happens before this. And so maybe it would be hard to pinpoint this exact point and say that it was the pornography thing that really lost her money. Because you could Andrew would probably try to say, no, it's the whole stuff that happened before that. And this is just a continuation of her losing subs and donos and everything.
That's exactly where I was going. That like if she's getting made fun of or whatever, if she is seen as a public figure, then putting out the censored thing, that's not going to do anything. And if she lost wages because of that, but she caused the conflict, then you started it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true.
Even what Testy is saying, like at least with the reputation part, like just maybe this is pivoting a little bit to the moral level of things. But me watching, and I've talked to Sarah like once, I've talked to Andrew once, so I don't really have a dog in the fight. But just seeing what Andrew said, seeing the stuff, and that being my first exposure, if I personally didn't go further and look it up, I would have just thought that Sarah was like completely naked under the Crucible stuff. Like that was to me, and I think any average person, that was the obvious implication. And so that is actual reputational damage, because if I didn't go out of my way, if I wasn't like chronically unemployed enough at the time to be like, I want to get to the bottom of this, did Sarah the Rachel DeMeo actually post, softcore porn, right? If I didn't do that, I would think, if I was just a casual viewer, I'd be like, oh, what a slut. Yeah, she posted softcore porn. That's crazy. And I would have just moved on, and the reputational harm would be there. Yeah, it for sure made it look like she was nude. Yeah, that's what I mean. And so that's, I think, what an average person would walk away thinking. That is reputational harm, and that is a knowingly intending thing. There's no way Andrew could just argue, I was just censoring cleavage, and I just called her a pornographer. I don't think that would fly.
Definitionally, how would we look at pornography? Like, from a legal lens.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be the hard.
I mean that's probably how
when you see it.
That is, he'll say, "Oh well, I guess we would look at it from a legal frame, and the legal frame may include, I guess, a more generous definition."
But I don't think this is me going out a bit on a limb, so a bit of grain of salt, but I don't think we could find a legal definition of pornography that would encompass what Sarah did. I don't think we could find one.
I disagree. I think, especially given the fact that Andrew is who he is, I think it would be dishonest, I think, but he definitely could make the argument that I do, in fact, as an Orthodox pious Christian, believe that showing cleavage like that is no different than.
He could, but that's not what Big Soda said. Like, so Big Soda said legally the definition of pornography. I'm saying you couldn't find a legal definition of pornography that would encompass what Sarah has done. Maybe you could make a moral thing that you could just say, hey, me posting a bikini pic is pornography, but I'm saying anything in the law, how pornography is defined in the law, is not going to be that.
But then he didn't. Yeah. If he truly believes that it's pornography, and he says, "Look, she's doing pornography," and censored the cleavage, appealing to the cleavage being the pornography, then he didn't lie. He was just wrong.
But people get hit with defamation. You can't just use the argument of like, I have my own private definition of words, and so I didn't mislead people. Otherwise, no one would ever get hit with any defamation charge, because you could just constantly say, like when with the iDubbbz thing, to bring that up, right? When he posted that thing, which Testy sound disagrees with, so that's still in my head. Testy, how do you disagree with that? Because he posted a Destiny screen cap, if anyone doesn't know, on his like channel that said like H3 like molests his kids or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it was. And so that's what he got. He was going to be sued over, and then he folded. But it's not like, I don't think iDubbbz would get away with saying, well, I meant like molest as in like molest their minds towards Zionism. Like, I don't think that would fly. I think the court would look at that and be like, that's not what like most people mean by that. You know what you meant. We're not using some special definition of like molestation.
Sure, but you don't think that the legal argument could be made that I was when I said that I wasn't implying that she was completely nude. I was saying this is pornography because of the cleavage. Okay, if legally that's not what it was, then I was just wrong. That's not making up a new thing. That falls in line with the
I don't know. Okay, but
idea.
Don't you think if you're trying to build a case, and you're Sarah, don't you think you could post all the clips that Andrew has ever shown of way more scantily clad women that he doesn't censor? So why is he censoring Sarah and he's not all the OnlyFans women that Andrew's posted clips of on the Crucible channel a million times over, wearing way more scantily clad clothing? He doesn't censor that. So then Sarah, though, he puts a big censor over it for some cleavage.
Not with them. So if there was another chick that had pictures that he found scantily clad that he would consider pornography, and he was in a beef with them, then it stands to reason he would do the same thing. No.
I don't think it does. I think a logical person would look at that and say he's trying to trick his audience into thinking that she's posing nude. To me, that's my reading of what happened there.
Because I could understand that, because you could then make the same argument that Andrew's promoting pornography if he's actually engaging with the making of money from videos of women showing the same cleavage.
I mean,
right, he has no problem, showing far worse. So,
and
I don't
he's
know.
actively making money off that. So, in one point, he's actively, I guess, making money in that type of engagement versus, censoring this type of engagement.
Fair enough. And I do think, I do agree with you that it was not great to do that. But I'm just thinking, legally, devil's advocate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know. We're gonna have to see if it, because the lawsuit's still active, right? Like it hasn't, because I don't know about the status, but is it still going on, IJ?
Yeah.
You guys have been dropped or anything?
We don't have that much information yet. So in sometime last week, because I put the video in my new Substack, I started a Substack at Lutch TIJ, where Rob was talking about that it was happening, and he's like, so I can't say anything yet, but I just want to let you know this is what's going on, and blah 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 blah. So it's all.
Why would Rob be getting sued?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, did Rob say the same thing, or what the fuck did Rob do?
I highly doubt it.
It's like defamation with Rob. I think that would. I'm not sure of an instance in where I guess you could justify that. That's why I thought it was more of a retaliation.
I almost muted the wrong one.
She's going after the individual employees. It seems like if it's including more than just Andrew and Rachel.
Well, and I think to balance it out, I do think what Sarah's doing is fucking mental illness. Like all the whole all the cuckable stuff. It feels sad. When I watch it, I feel cringe and I feel sad. Like that she'll take every opportunity to make these AI videos of Andrew Wilson. I'm just move on. You have a successful channel. I understand that you feel slighted, but just fucking move on. It's just
hey, look at what Speaky is doing.
Don't send me, Brandon. Don't even send me like that.
You realize why she does that, right? With the AI videos?
I don't know.
She's just copying Goofy of the Day. She's trying to be speakeasy with that.
Oh, probably.
That's easy. I mean, that's not his whole thing, but that's a very speakeasy type thing. Where it's like, oh, we got a song for this, we got this, and Goofy of the Day and all that kind of stuff. But speaking of speakeasy, are you guys aware of whatever drama is going on right now, where Powder Dusty, Grid One Motorsports, and someone else that I'm not aware of called him a liar, and he's like, all right, come through and tell me what happened. We were watching for a little bit. I was hoping somebody would pop in and some drama would start, but
that's what I think it was Keelan, that's what we were talking about, but then you thought we were talking about the Sarah stuff. But yeah, we were talking about the speakeasy.
Full circle. So what do you guys know specifics on it? I know they've been beefing for a while, but the genesis of it?
Yeah, I know. They both they had their first like beef was on my panel because I had Grid on. Grid was talking shit. Like not their first beef, but the first like public them coming to. I don't know what's happened since then, but Grid got, there's a bunch of stuff behind the scenes that was so fucking stupid that they talked about, where it's like little petty stuff, things that happened, but it wasn't like anything really noteworthy. Then Grid decided to talk about how Speakeasy was a deadbeat dad. And then, of course, Speakeasy doesn't like when people talk about his kids, which is understandable.
Yeah.
And yeah, then this happened. The showdown, Grid 1 was kind of, he didn't back down. He said what he thought, but it kind of didn't really go anywhere. But then Grid keeps like kind of saying stuff. And then there's Trippy Cat. I don't know if you know Trippy Cat, I'm assuming. It's like, he seems a little crazy to me. He's been on, the 2 times he's been on my panel has just been when Speakeasy was on, and he'll just like try to just like ad hom and post like, oh, this is what your ex-wife sent me, Speakeasy, or ex-girlfriend, or I don't know what the fuck. And this is like the court docs, and he's like weirdly obsessed. And Grid, for some reason, entertains some of this stuff. And so they all say that Speakeasy is lying about various things, and he doesn't pay child support, even though Speakeasy is like, I pay child support, I can show the documents. And then there's all this like stupid fucking shit. So I don't know if there's something like new that happened, but it's always about child support. It's always about Speakeasy's past relationships. It's always about his kids. Grid says that he doesn't care about one of his kids more than the other's kids, which is obviously a fucked up thing to say, but
yeah, and that's like I wanted to, because I was on Grid's channel, a bunch. I used to go there somewhat regularly, like not every week, but if I'm doing panels and debating, I'd hop around and do some stuff. The problem is that like trying to stay out of it. Like I obviously have been, I've done one-on-one debates on Swords of Reason, so like. There's a little bit of loyalty to Easy, but like I don't need to get in between y'all's beef. Like that's nothing new. But I was saying when we were watching it, there's a certain level of like things that you'll do. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna go talk about his kids, like okay, I don't have kids, but let's say we are collabing and then something happens to me. Are you gonna try to dox me? Are you gonna talk about like just have my niece? Are you gonna just I don't know. And it's just a bad look. And the thing that Easy's covering now is he just Grid just went on to another panel to well, people have been telling me I should mend the fences, but I don't know. It's like, bro, this is not a public conversation.
I know. I agree. Because I'm on the opposite side. Like I would have way more loyalty to Grid. Like I've been on Grid's panel. Like that's how I started streaming, was on Grid's panel. So Speakeasy has been on this panel. I've talked to him. I've never gone on Verbal Combat, although maybe one day. But yeah, it's like I'm way more. I know Grid way more than I know Speakeasy. But at the same time, the stuff Grid's doing, I'm just like, I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with bringing up the kids.
Right.
And I think Testy will disagree and say it's not bringing up the kids to like say some of the stuff. I disagree. And I've made that known with Grid. We fought about it before multiple times. Yeah. I don't like it, even though I'm more on like my loyalties would be like tied to Grid, and so I'm trying to like convince him. That's how the whole thing started when Speakeasy had joined on my thing, because I was talking to Grid and I was trying to like convince him that like, hey, like just leave out of this. But he's doubled and tripled down. He obviously does not agree with that point of view. I just don't know why. I guess I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, why bring all the personal stuff into it? I don't see any need. Like you said, Lutch, like, oh, your niece and stuff and whatever. It's like that. There's like a line that I think everyone should have, which would be like, yeah, your personal life, especially dealing with like family and stuff.
Right.
I don't see any reason to go into that. And like Grid will just like disagree. But then it's like, it's also, I don't know. It's also disagreeing in a way that I don't even think is like technically correct, because Grid will say stuff like the child support payments. Speakeasy is more than willing to be like, no, yeah, I've paid all my child support. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can check all this if you have the source docs and whatever, like you claim you do.
Even if he wasn't, let's say he is a bad father. I'm sure there's shit about a Grid in general that everybody would. I mean, just the fact that he's going online talking about other people's kids in and of itself is not ideal. And so, like, that's not really what we're doing. And I mean, unless I miss them being like friends outside of just mutuals, then it's like, who are you to care?
Yeah, it just yeah. And it's also and I don't know if you would agree with this or if this is a sane take in general. There is a certain aligning with people that are doing really fucked up stuff where it becomes like, hey, I'm only saying this level of stuff, but if you're like around people that are saying far worse, it almost does become a little strange at a certain point. And so that would be like, obviously Grid is like friends with like Flow State, and then also like Trippy Cat is mixed into this, and a couple other people, and these people go way farther than maybe Grid goes. But it's like so it becomes like a strange bedfellow situation where it's like if you're on a panel and you're talking to someone and they're saying a bunch of like unhinged personal shit, and you're just like kind of like laughing along and stuff and adding to it, but not going to the level they're going to. It's like, what are we doing here? You know, like what are we actually doing? Because you're kind of like giving your nod to this type of stuff, and maybe that gets a little more nuanced. Confluence, pick a side. Well, I have picked my side, which is the speakeasy side, which is hard for me because I know Grid way more personally well, you know, is the problem. And also Testy, it's not the deadbeat dad thing. That's one thing. I can maybe agree with that. My argument was, and I think you disagree with me on this, was that when Grid said that Speakeasy doesn't love all of his kids equally, and then Speakeasy made that response when he made Grid the goofy of the day, and he was talking about how if you're saying I love my kids unequally, the flip side, if you're saying I don't love my kid, the flip side of that statement, the also true thing is that the kid is not loved by the parent equally. So if Grid is putting this out there and one of Speakeasy's kids is listening, then he's like, oh, okay, you're basically telling me my dad doesn't love me, because those things are logically tied. If you're saying Speakeasy doesn't love all of his kids the same, then that means that the kid isn't loved by the dad the same way, which is something against the kids, right? So the deadbeat dad thing, I agree, that's probably something that's like on its own would probably just be a character attack against Easy and not his kids. But saying like that you don't love one of your kids, I think that is like over the line, in my opinion. I'm also not saying Grid's a piece of shit. Testy's always trying to make me commit to a point.
If you're talking to the dad and you're like, you don't love your kids, that's an attack on the dad's character.
It is, but what the flip side of that is that you're also saying the child is not, like, if you put it into the accusative sense, you're saying the child is not loved by the dad, right?
We're not talking to the kid though. We're not.
I know, but if someone says Confluence, you hate IJ, that would be the same as saying IJ is hated by Confluence, right? Like those are the same.
The massive difference is you're not going out of your way to find this kid and say your dad doesn't love you. You're saying, Dad, this is a character judgment on you. You don't love all your kids equally, and that makes you bad.
I know, but you're saying that in a public space where you know that people's kids can listen to this. Like, what's the point of saying that? I guess. So I have to ask, like, why? What are you?
To be me.
What are you gaining out of saying that?
In a debate sphere, there should never be a reason to go for personal insults, because you are there to debate ideas. So whatever idea comes up, even if you want to debate the idea of like, hey, let's have a debate on should fathers, or is there ever a reason that a father doesn't pay child support when not to, or whatever, and have that debate, have that as an intellectual, academic, whatever debate, and then the people that will know what's good behind the scenes in their personal life, they'll know, and then everybody can make their decision based on that.
Right. I guess that's the broader point, is like, what is the I don't know what drives these people to obsessively look and make websites and make all this shit into Speakeasy's personal life. I don't know what we gain by saying he doesn't love all of his kids equally. I don't know what we possibly gain from a statement like that.
Yeah. And like, I'm not asking for drama, but if Greg came on this panel and was like, well, I heard you guys were talking about me, what were you saying? I'd be totally fine saying all the things I just said, but that's why I don't, that's why I don't want to get involved. And when you're talking like that, it makes it difficult.
Hey, Darkside Deacon Ass.
Shit.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's the thing.
Oh, mystery man.
Well, right. And see, so Tessie, I feel like you broadly do agree, right?
What does he say?
Like, there is, yeah. And so you and Emmett obviously have beef, but yeah, like there is a level where it's like you're not it's fine to make ad homs maybe like in the internet sphere if you're not trying to attack any target specifically, right? But as soon as you Speakeasy, because he's like a public figure and because he has a crazy ex that sends court documents to Trippy Cat, who then publishes them, which is incredibly immoral, I think. Then it's like, yeah, you're making specific allegations, you're dragging specific things into it. And also, even the stuff, I'm still bugged by Trippy Cat when he came on this panel. Big Soda, you'll remember this, where he's like posting a video of Speakeasy, like he's using it as his like little virtual cam thing of Speakeasy jumping on a trampoline park with his kids. The kids are not pictured, but it's like what are we trying to show? Like Speakeasy he's here with his kids.
Funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, but it would be funny if it's like meant in like a joking way. It would be funny.
Oh, wait, are you
Well, I do realize it's meant. If it's meant in like an actual kind of joke about like, okay, this is Speakeasy jumping on. Like if I posted Speakeasy jumping on a trampoline, I think that'd be funny because that would mean any harm.
Like,
by
hey,
it.
oh shit, my bad.
He's just jumping. It's just him jumping. That's.
You haven't seen that? You haven't seen this?
On a trampoline park with his kids, and then Trippy's like, "Oh, look at this gay guy," but like, being
right in
serious
a
about it.
vacuum, like just posting this. This is like, oh, it's Speakeasy at a trampoline park, right? But
Yeah, he
Trippy's
led with
doing
that.
this to try to like, he's doing it in a malicious way, which is fucked up because it's like, yeah, if you catch me with my nieces and nephews, yeah, I'm gonna look a bit goofy because I'm like, you're with kids. You're like what? Like who would take that? And that video was sent. Apparently, Speakeasy said it was sent by his like ex-girlfriend or ex-wife to Trippy Cat, and Trippy Cat's like, hey, check out Speakeasy. What a fucking loser playing with his children. Could you imagine? It's like, what the fuck are you doing, brother? Trippy Cat was like, Trippy Cat's unhinged. Like, I don't know what the goal is of any of this.
Voltaire's the one. Where was it? Voltaire Tabernacle that said that's funny when we were talking about this trampoline video.
That was me, just like picturing someone jumping up and down.
Just to defend you, were you saying that it is funny to us that Grid would use that, or not Grid, Trippy would use that as an insult, or were you saying it's funny that happened too easy?
I'm saying it's funny that there's a video of him just jumping up and down. I just think the video is funny.
Yeah, that's fair
So
on
he's
its
just
own.
jumping up
Yes.
and down.
Again, I don't know if I don't speak easy well enough, but if I post this video and it's no ill intent, it's just like, oh, look, this is Speakeasy at a trampoline park. That's a funny idea. But if your intent is malicious, which with Trippy Cat, trust me, it is incredibly malicious, then it becomes this disturbing thing. And especially because the video, it's not like he found some video on Speakeasy's channel. It's a video sent to him by his ex. And yeah, Dusty, maybe he sent it to Dusty too, but I know his ex, is sending like personal videos and the personal court docs to Trippy Cat, who is then putting them online and making videos about them and fucking talking about all this shit. And I think that's like fucking disgusting.
It's so weird to share that video, but like the contents are hilarious in my opinion. It's just weird to do it because like if someone shared the video of me falling off the golf cart, I'd be like, that's my video to share, not yours.
And it's like they're following you around.
I want to see that video, by the way.
You talk, you always, they come in and they just play this video and they follow you around panel to panel playing this video, trying to embarrass you. So it does seem like very untoward.
It's not like that's a kind of video that, yes, in good spirits, it's because there's no kids in the video. Yeah, if you're in good spirits, that could be like a funny thing to share, but it's not in good spirits. It's meant maliciously. It's a private video and it's fucking crazy. And yeah, it is DNI worthy. And yeah, that's why, it is DNI worthy. Because Trippy Cat, that's probably the last time I think I would have him up. I mean, first of all, he only comes up when Speakeasy's on. And every time he does it, he's changing his VCam to either court documents or all this like nonsense or all these personal videos. Yeah, Dusty is one thing. I think Dusty is a bit crazy, but is still like reachable. Trippy Cat, from my interactions, Trippy Cat is. I tried to, on the second panel especially. I tried to reach through Trippy Cat because Speakeasy at one point I think he left or muted, and I was trying to talk to Trippy. I'm like, you are so obsessed with this. Like, what do you think this means for you? Like, why are you doing this? I was trying to actually have like some type of heart to heart. It was not working. Nothing was working.
I asked him what do you gain from this, and he's just like, oh, it's funny.
You're somebody who cares about other people in general. You're somebody who cares about your reputation. You're someone who cares about all of these things. When you hide behind a fucking a clown and say whatever, then there are people just like people who go in the chat and will just spam bullshit because it gets some attention and they think it's funny. Then at a certain point, it's just like, okay, get rid of them because they're not here for the same level of discussion as a normal person. It's like if you disagree with me and you come into my chat and you're saying, no, that's wrong. Hey, totally cool. That's every single goddamn day. But if you're coming, oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're Indian. Oh, you're Indian. It's like, okay, bye. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah, it's low IQ derailment from Trippy.
And so
Every single time.
And so it's just.
I want to address Let's Chief because I don't know if he's actually asking or not. Good to see you, Let's Chief. Does anyone know what the center of Dusty's drama with Easy is? Can anyone on panel steelman him? I want to say just my piece because I don't know if there's a better steelman, but this is my actual problem. It's when I ask these people, it's like a vague cloud of things, and it doesn't matter if each one of those things gets disproved. Because I've talked to Dusty, I've talked to Trippy, and they'll say stuff like that he scammed a veteran out of VK winnings, and he's talking about Abe Dinkus, right? But then I talked to Abe Dinkus. Abe Dinkus joins the panel at the same time. He's the veteran in question, and he's like, "No, this is how VK works." And someone donated money, and it's all within the rules. And yeah, I didn't win this time. And then they'll say, okay, but he doesn't pay out any money. And then a bunch of people come on and be like, no, we get paid. I've gotten paid. This person's gotten paid. And then they move on from this, and they say Speakeasy has done this thing. And then when that gets like disproved, like the child support thing, even with Grid's like, well, I guess maybe you did pay child support then. I guess I was wrong about that. But it doesn't matter. It just moves to the next allegation. So I actually don't even know. I'm actually being dead ass last chief. I don't know how to steelman it because when I ask these people directly, it's just a cloud of like 10 different claims, and it doesn't matter if each one gets disproved. They'll just switch immediately to the different claim. So I actually
they'll claim the same thing in another video or on another panel. And thing that was just disproven. They'll just say it again somewhere else.
Not to push you.
I think in this case, with Abe, it was Speakeasy's. I don't know if there's a mod that had donated or something. But like that's a part of the thing. And again, if the person himself, Abe, is saying, no, I don't feel at all that I got scammed by this, mods are allowed to donate, just like my mods donate to me. And if I had a thing about people getting kicked, if a mod donates to kick someone, it's like, yeah, someone can make the allegation that I asked my mod to do this. But that's like, I'm sorry. That's like, then you would have to, I guess, prove that I did this. Like, there's no reason to think that.
The reality of it is it's gay as fuck. Like, part of it. That's just how the game goes, though. Like, that's...
You're gay as fuck. What is this and beefs? What is this beef we have here with Brett Cooper and whatever the fuck that thing is?
I wish it was beef. I wish it was fucking beef. It's not beef. I don't know. It's a stupid ass video where they're both agreeing on everything for some reason, which doesn't make any sense. But
you like my transition skills? No,
yeah, this video is not it. But does anyone? Am I misrepresenting Flow State? Does anyone know more about this? Because again, I've talked to Flow State, talked to these people. Am I misrepresenting this at all? Because I don't want to like falsely steelman these people, but when I talk to them and I ask them for their criticisms, this is what I hear, and it just moves from one thing to another thing to another thing, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter if one thing gets disproven. They'll just move to something else.
He is live right now. Send them send them something to be like, recap the genesis of all this. I'm sure you'd be happy.
I think Dusty just uses anything for content. I don't think it's out of like malicious intent or whatever. I think he's just kind of like a shock jock kind of guy.
Well, that's the best thing that Trippy had said, which I don't know if it's a good thing, but he's like, that's all my content. He's like, that's what I just do. I try with the court docs. That's nothing unique to Speakeasy. I just like I'm a drama guy, and so if I find this stuff, I'm gonna like post it. Which I guess it's like, okay,
does it psychotically.
And I don't want to.
Dusty does it like. Dusty's just Dusty. Like it's
it is Dusty.
I don't hate the man. He's just himself.
Yeah, and I guess the problem is I've only talked to these people in the context of the Speakeasy stuff. Like the only time Flo or Trippy has ever joined has been talking about Speakeasy. So I don't know what they're like outside of this. How much is the donut to carry over the prize? It does seem a little sus, knowing very, very little. No, it's not. I don't think that's what it, because I know very little too, but no, I think in the cases that they're talking about, it's like you can like bring people back and like revive them if they've been eliminated. I think someone, I don't know, you probably know more about VK.
That's the reason that I don't do VK, is because I don't have enough clout to get people to pay for me to debate. Everybody else gets it. So I would just have to sit and wait all night until all the people who have enough people be like, oh, I want this person to debate. I just sit there and wait for 3 hours. And I stream on Fridays anyway. So if I start at 8 p.m. Eastern and they're not going until like midnight, and then I'm not debating until 2 a.m., then it doesn't work for me. But it definitely is it is focused on the money. That is part of the game. And so you could say, yes, I don't like that this part could be, used in a way that I don't like, but that is the game. He's very clear about the rules. And if you think these rules can be and are being used to make it unfair, then don't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, Tyler, I'm happy to see you, but you did get me excited. You did get me excited. I thought this was actually Avarice cheating, and I wanted to hear Avarice just scream at everything that's been happening. But I'm still excited to see you, Tyler, just not maybe as excited as I'd be to have Avarice join in on this discussion. Actually, that makes me think I'm gonna send Avarice a link, because Avarice knows Speakeasy and all this stuff better than fucking anyone. So I don't know if unless Avarice is on Speakeasy right now, which he might be.
As the last I saw, they weren't. They hadn't opened the panel. Let me see here. He's definitely gonna be in.
Yeah, I put out the Avarice signal to Avarice. Okay, so we'll see.
Oh, is it over already? What?
Because I don't know what Let's Chief is saying. They voted to carry over the prize, so Abe got nothing when he won it. Yeah, I don't know enough about VK to know.
So what happened is, so he basically won the last debate, and like it was like a shoo-in that he was going to win, but then somebody paid to be the ultimate judge, and then said, no, sorry, we're kicking it over to next week. Like it was just kind of like highway robbery, but it's not a scam. That's just the way the fucking thing goes. Like,
that's the thing. Like, no matter how it's set up, if it actually if it's written that way, if it's written like you can, because that's kind of what VK is, from my understanding. Okay, which is why I'm trying to get Avarice to join, because I understand. I think that's like, and if you're going into a debate show with a cash prize, and you know that people can donate to fuck with a bunch of stuff, you know that going in, and then it's not. I don't think that's rigged if you know you're going into it though, Testy, right? I don't think that's rigging. Also, if Abe himself, and maybe you could say, I guess maybe the best steel man would say that Abe doesn't want to like cause waves. So maybe even if Abe did feel personally,
he's disappointed for sure, which is understandable.
Yeah, but even if he did feel like he was quote unquote scammed, then maybe he would have incentive not to say. That's the best steel man.
He wouldn't say that.
Have you guys seen?
He would never say that he was scammed because he knows.
Have you guys seen the show Outlast? It's like a survival game show type thing. I'll take that as a no. So basically, there's three teams.
I don't think no.
3 teams of people, and there's a different place in the world for each season. But they're in the wilderness, and they have there's 3 teams, and there's 3 different tools. Each team gets 1 tool, and then they just gotta fucking survive. And the actual survival comes into it, but the team dynamics are also a big thing as well. And so if you can get kicked out of your team just because the other people don't like the way that you do X, Y, and Z, and then if you shoot a flare,
look at, I'm immediately up here. Look at, hi, I'm up here. I'm interrupting. No,
hey,
Avarice.
Let's fucking go.
Anyway, so I don't got a lot of time. Andrew's live, Rob's live, Easy's live, so I'm kind of have all 3
going. All right, give us some juice.
So
we're here for the
but Confluence is a friend of mine, and when he asked for me to come on, I'm more than happy to come oblige really quick. So what's going on, Confluence? What's your question?
So we're talking about the Abe thing and how verbal combat works, and I don't know well enough how it works. So Abe thing. The stuff from the stuff from Patrick, Dusty, and Trippy is that Speakeasy scammed a veteran out of verbal combat because someone either donated. I don't know if it was to carry over the prize, and how. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's not true. So this is long before the carrying over time, right? This is just all hearsay, right? If Abe can even confirm this, right? There was just I think there was a payment in difference or whatever, of time when Abe could get it or things. But again, Abe ended up getting whatever Abe got. If that wasn't the case, right? Why is Abe still on it? Verbal combat today. If he feels like he was screwed out of money, right? This is the real question, right? Why is Abe doing verbal combat today? Why is Abe not up here on panels going, I was fucking screwed everywhere?
Because
Abe says he wasn't screwed.
Well,
so why is this even important?
Let me play devil's advocate. That if that's his best place to get viewership and or money, then he has a reason to, even if he was stiffed by.
No, that's not true.
To be
that's not true. That's not true. I have I can make money here by dunking on people on confluences, getting the clips.
That's not
no, it's the exposure. It's the exposure thing.
I
That's
can
what-
get exposed. Choose not to get here if someone breaks my values. I can choose not to be here.
Right, but I'm saying if you don't have that elsewhere, like let's say that the Abe only goes on.
It's not Abe's show. It's Easy's show. What are
I
you talking
understand
about?
that. You're not listening.
We're not complaining from Abe's perspective, Avarice. You got to listen.
Well, I'm trying to understand. He's saying that.
Okay, so let's say the Confluence had 10,000 subs, right? And there was hundreds of people in the chat all the time. There and maybe me and him had a little bit of a beef. There is incentive there for.
What are you talking about? Blah 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 blah. Everett.
The incentive for me to publicly defend Confluence, even though I think he's wrong, because I get clout and viewership and donations.
No, I don't think that Abe or myself or anybody that's been, especially is in areas like.
And so either, but you asked why he would do it, and I'm saying
no, I don't think. Well, I don't think that's why he would do it, and I think that's crazy. I think that's a way that's like a tinfoil hat. People like me, people with conviction, like we like military people, we don't. When somebody fucks us, we don't give them
Jesus
that kind
fucking
of
Christ,
I don't know
this
many
guy.
military guys that do, especially when someone fucks us over in our personal
Not
life.
listening to my point.
It's at the end of the day, Abe has plenty of ways to make money, and that is a really shitty excuse, to be honest. And if Abe, and here's the honest answer,
Well, that was a
Abe
shitty
himself-
steel man by Lutch. To be honest.
if Abe isn't complaining about it, right? If Abe literally is not complaining about it and is continuously going on verbal combat, right? What's the issue?
Right, and that's the thing. Like Abe has said openly that he does not feel scammed at all by verbal combat.
I
Like,
hate
he's
this.
the
I hate this
opposite,
argument.
yeah.
They're trying to get.
I hate this argument because all it is to make speakeasy or verbal combat look bad, and that's why I don't condone this argument. I honestly, Confluence, you shouldn't even entertain this one. I would say the same if somebody was saying shit about your channel, right, in your panel on someone else's, right?
Well, no one here is saying because Speakeasy is doing his whole.
No, I'm
he's
saying
having
I
his
don't
whole thing
condone.
right now.
I'm saying I don't condone this. I don't condone this kind of like negativity towards it. This kind of without proof or evidence, right? There's
It's
no
not like we
evidence.
came up. It's not like we just started saying this out of nowhere.
I know. I understand what you guys are saying.
No,
I understand. I'm not
It's coming
this
from
is a long
Dusty.
going
He just wanted to know through what Dusty was saying, if there was any
Yeah,
truth in it.
someone had asked if I can steal
I'm
man.
not
the
getting
other
mad.
side.
Don't take this wrong as me like saying I don't condone what you're doing, Confluence. Blah 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 blah. Anger. What I'm saying is I don't condone this argument getting like leaked like it is.
That's why
I'd rather shut it.
Here,
So, hold on. I got it. That's why I'm saying I would just shut it down and be like, listen, if this was a big problem, Abe should be here. And Abe would be saying, "This is my issue." Here's the real question: do you think that I would shut up if I had an issue with somebody?
No,
you never shut up. So,
oh my God, who's that in the background?
So what makes?
I think that was wasn't that a cat?
The
They were
gypsy.
stealing a cat.
That's the gypsy. So I gotta live in gypsy. So
they have no. Oh my God,
yeah, that's the gypsy.
they have no shirt on.
Yeah.
Remember how we were?
He's off of work. Let him be,
What the
dude.
fuck?
He's on the couch.
Remember how we were just talking about people? Certain people don't listen, and you gotta learn when you're not getting through to somebody. Yeah, we're not getting through to him. In defense, he doesn't realize that we're not playing that game.
Watching fucking anime with my wife, dude. Here.
Can someone explain the context of what the fuck you guys are talking about to me?
Look, see, it's the,
They were trying to do with Avarice.
Gypsy. You see?
Oh, there we go.
Gypsy.
Hi, shirtless guy. Say hi to the shirtless
You want
guy
to
for
wave
me.
hi at everybody? They see shirtless.
So
what the
There
fuck
you
is he
go.
doing?
Speakeasy scam to Abe. That's what
He's
I
doing some
gathered.
Coca-Cola on the fucking.
No,
What
my
happened?
God, that guy.
That's
no,
me.
no,
That's a homeless person.
no. I'll show you what he's doing. Lift him up.
Looks
Go
like early
ahead.
2000s.
Look, that's what he's doing.
Oh,
He's got my kid.
Oh,
why is your kid so? Your kid is like looks so much older than he is. It's crazy.
That is a
Avarice.
fake
What
baby.
the fuck?
Yeah, that's my. He's with my kid.
Oh, which one of
Looks
you is
exactly
the mother
like you.
relationship?
Yeah.
Oh,
So my wife's over there
You're
eating.
so progressive.
He's giving my wife a break. Look at that.
oh, that's adorable.
That's what friends are for. Oh, that's
This
the old
is
one.
crazy. This
Your
has
wife's
been the
boyfriend looks like a
craziest
really
stuff.
nice guy.
Yeah, actually, his girlfriend's really cool, except for I'll admit their one flaw, right? So his girlfriend works at a place called the Crab Shack, right?
Oh,
So they
that's
get like a whole fucking platter that they can put on a baking sheet worth of fucking seafood for like $10. Like it's $30. I think they get it for like 10. So that's every night she brings home this fucking, and it just reeks the house of shrimp and bag of crab. I'm like, bro, but here's the thing, like, and I've said it before, and a lot of people have said it before. I have no problem talking about who's under my house. My buddy was in a trap house, living with people that were like literally selling drugs and drugging people on his fucking thing, living on the fucking floor.
That's
right?
what trap house is.
And so, if there's an opportunity for a dude that says he wants to not do that, and it's a guy that I respect, and he wants to just work and turn his life around and not do that shit, I'll give you a fucking room. I've always said that to everybody here. I've said it to anybody. I've said it. Current Influence has heard me stand by it hundreds of times. If you're a man trying to do better, and I have the opportunity, and you're a good dude, I'm gonna fucking house you for sure. So, I mean, that's what it's about. Look at, if I have room, and he's been nothing but trying to be a better person. And once he leaves, and on his own and he's going to be a man that knows how to fucking budget his life, learn what's important, learn to cook, learn to fucking pay a bill, and then be able to pay his.
Not a grifter, but it's like some dude in his house.
Yeah, I grew up in Heroin Town, dog. It sounds like you're about to get robbed for your rent money. That's what happened to me like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, well,
Justice for Abe.
He's been here for a year, and nothing's gone wrong now.
I'm just messing around. I want to know what the context is. Did Speakeasy rob Abe?
What? I don't know. There's just absolute no.
Honestly, Speakeasy, I've said this multiple times. He looks like the type of dude that would rob you for Molly at a Juggalo concert. So
yeah, when he was
Tyler has said that before.
Wait. While we have Tyler, because I think Tyler, you're more. Before we were talking about the grid side of it.
Okay, but I just want to get on. So we got done with this. I'm done with the Abe thing. If anybody has any question about chat or whatever, if you have evidence, actual evidence, all right. Speakeasy's doing it right now. Go ahead, go over there, bring your evidence. I'll be more than happy to see evidence. But all this is
10 minutes. If somebody wants to drop 99 cents,
so
let's keep
I
raging.
got pictures of Speakeasy kissing dudes. Now what?
Well, your AI is fantastically fun, and I see Sora in the corner.
Yeah.
Were you done, Evers?
I got Speakeasy in blackface.
Hey, can I finish? Can I finish any of this?
That's what I was asking.
Let me finish. No. That's the third thing Indian Jesus ever said to me.
Oh, you drink.
But I mean, I agree with you, Everest. Like this, I mean, but this is all the allegations. This is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, so
each one gets knocked down and a new one crops up by the same kind of people.
Well, that's why I want to ask Tyler about Grid, because I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, you and Grid are relatively close, right?
We get along. There's no hate there.
His mic is.
I also get along with Speakeasy.
Well,
I get along with Speakeasy pretty well too.
I even said this too. Like and despite what people said to saw yesterday, I didn't really have an issue with any of them, right? But when I have an issue with what was being said,
right?
Again, if any guy wants to run their show, however they want to run their show, that's how they run their show. If Confluence wants to turn around and do something with his show, it's not for me to tell him how to do it. I'll give Confluence suggestions all day long, and I've told him this before. But it's not my job to tell him how to run a show.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, let Speakeasy rob people for fuck's sakes.
When though? Where's the evidence?
I don't even know the context yet.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
just
but like, here's that same analogy I just said the other day to Grid, right? This is that same stuff. This is why I think we ought not do this, because it just gives bad images to everybody on our side, right? Let's say I'm in an HOA, right? And my neighbor, right? I tell everybody that my neighbor is a prostitute, right? I tell everybody that my neighbor is a prostitute,
Wait, is your neighbor Sarah the Raging Tomato? Because I know how this ends.
Hold on. So let's say I tell everybody my neighbor's a prostitute, to the point where finally my neighbors in the HOA, they go to her door and start soliciting sex, right? And then she's like, I'm not a prostitute. What's going up? And they go, well, that's what Avarice said, right? And then she goes, Avarice, why'd you do that? I go, well, I just assume based on the way you're dressed, right? Well, everybody would know. I assume all females dress like prostitutes. So I guess I was correct, right? No, I'm not correct. So you shouldn't make the assumption or make these accusations even out in public without confirming or bringing hard facts, even if you're assuming, right? Especially on panels where our enemies are paying attention, right?
Damn.
And this is what I was trying to say. Like, you shouldn't make assumptions that Abe got robbed. You shouldn't make assumptions that this happened or that happened and spout it out without evidence. Unless the people are actually coming up and saying this, right? You don't have Abe.
Bro, nobody is saying that. That's not what's happening. That's not the vibe.
Way to stand up for Sarah, bro.
The reason I asked Tyler.
I'm going to stand up for Easy on this one because I have yet to
standing up for Easy, bro. That's what we're saying. We're all
nobody's here is against Easy. I'm making jokes.
No one here thinks that Speakeasy scammed anyone.
I'm saying that nobody's trusting evidence. Me too. Easy for me to call Easy a liar.
So, Tyler, then the reason I asked you specifically was because, like we were all saying, that we don't want to get in the middle of beef like that, especially when it's bullshit. But I, over time, and I mean the same thing happened with Sarah as well. That it wasn't my fight. And then they would do things that it's like, okay, well, even though it's not to me, the fact that you would do this in the first place then gives me a pause to even want to associate with you, because then if we have some beef, are you going to try to dox me? Or are you going to try to do some crazy shit?
That's a fair argument.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah. I just that's like I try to just stay cool with everybody. It takes a real cunty person for me not to like them. There's only a small handful. So I generally get along with most people on the left and right side of the aisle.
What are you fucking saying about me, Tyler?
Keelan, you're an upstanding gentleman.
He's gay.
I accept your silent apology. I accept your silent apology for your slanderous words yesterday because you were upset because that my arguments couldn't be countered. And I get it, bro. We all get backed into a corner sometimes. It's all right.
Slander.
I still think yeah.
I'm just trying to. Is there anything like do we have any more questions for that? I mean, I got many things going on, so I'm just trying to figure out.
No, I don't think so. I was curious about how the verbal combat stuff worked and what, because I haven't been on it, so I don't know if you can pay to send the money forward or how that exactly goes.
It's very simple. Like, and I can even show you this. This is nothing hidden, right? It's even if you go to the verbal combat Discord. So verbal combat is $150 to win at the end, or it rolls over. It's at a massive amount, whatever. But there's also things that you can do, or what they call where are they right here? Moves, chat moves. You have disruption attacks, battle attacks, support attacks, and chat wars. Right, you can pay money to do these following
That's
things.
The whole vibe of the show.
Money to do these,
Verbal
right?
combat. It's like Mortal Kombat. Everything is Mortal Kombat.
Mute for one fighter.
And
Random
so, like,
funny
I have
clip.
respect
2
for
minute
that
in the back for one
concept.
fighter. 7 minute mute for one fighter. 5 minute in the back for one fighter. Force the topic. Name change for a fighter. 5 minute 1v1 death match. 6 minute 3-way death match. 8 minute 4-way death match. Fatality. Add Shang Tsung Speakeasy to the fight. That's literally add Speakeasy to the fight. Fatalities, literally, you can pay to X somebody out. Immediately, we don't want you up there. Get out. Chat pays these. Add 60 minutes to the show. Full screen fighter. Revive a fighter. Fatality shield for the fighter for 1 hour. Hammer for the night. Now, this was the thing that nobody thought was going to happen. Then Jungle's made it very apparent that he's going to do it as many times as Jungle wants to do it. It's been kind of annoying lately on Jungle, and I've expressed that to him. But again, I can't control Jungle shutting down the night. So then they rolls it over. And then 5 minute timeout, 5 minute mod timeout. These are all things that you can pay for verbal combat as an audience member. These are all things that we clearly see go across the screen. So I don't see where there's contention here.
Right. I guess that's kind of what I was saying, even without knowing all of the things. As long as people know what you can pay to do, and they know the chat can control us with donos, then it is what it is. If it's a dono to end the whole night, then that's what you're entering in to win a cash prize. But you know that at any moment, someone could donate to change fucking everything. So
How much do you charge per hour for PR?
For PR?
Yeah. How much you charge? How much is Speakeasy paying you?
Oh,
is that money coming out of what Abe would have won?
No, so if I'm doing PR on something I believe on, that's free. But for you, $100. All right.
Hey, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but if I believe in it, like Speakeasy, that's just free, right?
Pretty
Because
good
he hasn't lied to me, right? That's what I was getting at. This is what the thing was, and this is why I got so defensive, right? Is because I don't take kindly. I don't take kindly be like the way things are worded or when they're sly, right? Now, here's the thing. Nothing's against recovery, right? If someone wants to say, I did that, yes, I did that, and yes, this is what happened, good, let's recover then, right? No man is against recovery unless you're Muslim, right? The only thing that is against recovery, right, is if you're going to keep going down this rhetoric, right? And the rhetoric or keep obfuscating. There's this comedian I like. His name is Dane Cummings. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of Speakeasy Wilkes Booth.
Well, I've never seen Speakeasy live. Have you ever seen that? Yeah. So on top of it, so there's this.
I'm trying to wait for Everett to leave.
And he has this.
Maybe I could get into another conversation. I don't.
Most people like to call compulsive
then
liars
fuck
out. Because they feel like they're lied to, and
They're
the problem is
arguing with us.
liars. They get angry.
We're not arguing.
And they say like, I dare you to call me out on my dirty little fucking lie, right? So what Dane says is you actually feed into their lie, like build your own fantasy books, right? And that's what I feel. And to be honest, that's what I feel like fucking Grid did there. Is he just built it on what just happened with Easy. He built his own little fantasy book and then continued to build more fantasy book instead of just coming out with the facts.
In fairness, I also write Harry Potter fan fiction.
My mic is tweaking. So what happened was so three things has happened to my mic. It's getting replaced. One, my baby spilled coffee all over my desk. It went all over every electronic, including.
Well, you don't give a baby coffee.
Well, I didn't. He literally got to it, right? Secondly, he keeps reaching for it when I have it in my hand, so he grabs it and pulls. So he's literally fucked this thing up. So a new one's on the way, but yeah.
If it's so hot in California in your house, why are you like in a full sweater and your bro's just like half naked?
Yeah, because I was working and this has that.
Oh, all right, guys. I guess we're gonna close it down. I don't see much going on over there or over here. And I'm trying to catch up with a new show that comes out tomorrow. So I am going to dip out. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Shout out to the sole and only donation in over 3.5 hours. Shout out to Wicked Dream. All right, later. Until next time, we are out of here.